We've received lots and lots of questions from you guys over the course of the last week, which has been really, really good. So thanks for that. So today we're going to basically be taking those questions and answering them, as well as answering any other questions that you guys may have. So if you're not already watching us on Twitch and on YouTube as well, then feel free to jump in there and ask questions. And also, if you're joining us on Discord as well, then we've created a channel there where you can ask questions as well. We're going to be prioritizing the first, I think it's 27 questions that we've been asked by the community, and then we'll move on to ask any further questions at the end. So I guess we'll just have a quick run round to see who's answering the questions today. So hi, I'm Oa. I'm admin at WedHub, and I'm also the lead, one of the lead producers or lead developers on redalert 2 Apocalypse Rising. So I do quite a lot around here, but it's a lot of fun. It always has been. So I guess we'll go round from top to bottom. So ChopBam.
Hey, I am ChopBam, and I have been at W3D Hub for a number of years now. I am lead producer for A Path Beyond currently, and I do everything from terrain editing to all sorts of things. And I'm still learning, and I'm excited to do this Q&A with you all.
Excellent. And we also have CMD Bob here as well.
Hi, I'm C&D Bob. I'm a scripts developer, and I also sort of work on my own mod for W3D. I've been around for a while as well, so great to be here.
Excellent. We've also got Moonsense here as well, if he's here, or he might be eating.
Oh, excuse me, I'm here. Hi guys, I'm Moonsense. I'm the co-producer of redalert 2 Apocalypse Rising. I'm working with OWA a lot, and I do all sorts of random small stuff here, like server plugins, website stuff, Discord bots. You might know Chitskoi. So yeah, I'm having all sorts of fun here around. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Nodlight?
Well, hello guys, I'm Nodlight. I'm the head of QA, so I'm the lead tester over here. I've been here since 2012 as a lead tester, and I have two other people on my side. We run the tests, have all sorts of fun, and obviously some less fun tests. But other than that, nice to be here.
Excellent. Team Wolf?
Hi, I'm Team Wolf. I'm an admin at W3D Hub. I'm also the lead developer, producer for Battle for Dune, War of Assassins. I also do a lot of terrain work for other projects like Reborn.
Excellent. And finally, last but not least, Janosch.
Hey everyone, I'm Janosch. I'm one of the scripts developers trying to make sure that the game can support all the features that all these lovely people request and try to put together into great games. One of the biggest projects we're working on currently is trying to make the rendering stand up to the standards of maybe 10 years ago instead of 30 years ago. So hope we can show that off to you very soon.
Excellent stuff. Right, I guess we'll hit it straight into the first question. So, if I can find my browser, there we go. So, first question. How do I apply for testing?
I guess that's a question for me.
Yep, that'll be a question for Nodlight.
Yeah. So it's actually quite easy. If you think you are good enough to be a tester and you actually want to join the testing team, you hop onto our forums. I don't know if the stream can show you that. And under the general discussion, the WedHub general discussion forum, subforum rather, you have a thread called Join the Testing Team. In there, you have all the information you will need to know in order to apply for testing. Basically what you do is you look at your requirements. Do I have everything in there? And then we have prepared a handy little application form in which you will answer all of your questions. You do this by copying the application form and sending me, so Nodlight, No Soldier, and Einstein a forum private message with your answers. So you copy it, you give your answers, and you send it to us. At that point, we will review your application, talk about it with other staff, and then we come back to you for an update. And if we think you are suitable enough, then we will invite you for an interview. And depending on the outcome of the interview, we will hire or sadly decline. It doesn't happen too often. You as a tester, and if you're hired, you will have to you'll be put on a short trial for a week or two, or even allow you to test a broken build of one of our games. So that's it.
Yeah, something to add to that is that basically we do try and test as much as we can. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of different games that we all like to test. For example, BFD or Battle for Dune is getting tested quite a lot recently because there's lots of nice features going into that. But yeah, basically it does give you guys an opportunity to come and chat to us a bit more. If you're really keen on being a part of the development of these games, of the games that we make, then that's just a really, really good way to get involved and basically see what's coming up, right?
Well, yes, and don't forget that it is a lot easier to become a full staffer and learn the tools of the trade, so to say, when you're in the testing team as opposed to being an outsider.
Exactly. Does anyone else on the panel have anything to add to this question?
Please become a tester. We need testers. There's so much to test.
There is a related question in the session chat right now.
I guess can one be a tester with a hectic and uncertain schedule? That's a related question. Nodlight?
Technically, yes. I mean, generally we test our games on Saturdays and Sundays in the evening European time, afternoon American time. But even if you can't join testing sessions that often, you can still test on your own, provide feedback, and especially for things such as new features, you can give your feedback based on LAN play or whatever. Just how does it feel? Is anything broken? If we have a new map, are the map borders functioning? Are the ore fields functioning? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can still be a tester. But of course, we would prefer it if you're able to join in during testing sessions as well.
Excellent. I hope that answers your question. I just want to point out as well, we do have some support staff here as well helping us today. We've got General Camo, Einstein, Cool Rock, amongst other people who have, and Ice as well, who've come to join us from the development team. So they will be in chat helping us out here today. And Gen Cam has just pointed out to me that I need to say the the person's name who asked the question. So that question was asked by Kukov, who I think is probably Nodlight anyway. So yes, excellent. Okay, we'll move on to the next question then. So okay, this question doesn't actually have a person who they haven't left their name who asked it, but the 20th birthday of Renegade next year will be very special. Could it be special enough for an AR release to the public? Now that is a very interesting question.
That's loaded.
Yeah, it's very loaded. Moonsense, do you have any thoughts on that one?
I have no idea. I've become a parent this month, so my time has got busy recently. So
Congratulations.
I don't know really. We're trying our best. I mean, I've been developing this game even after the baby was born. I was not expecting this much time to have left, but this might change when she grows a little bit older and I have to spend more time with her. Of course, for me, she's going to be priority one, and not AR.
Yeah, AR's always
yeah,
our other baby.
I'm trying my best still.
Yeah, I've actually taken a break from AR this month to not only to celebrate my birthday, but also to help organise a lot of these Renegade 90th anniversary events that have been going on this past week. So that's kind of eaten my time up. Although I do hope to get back to AR development sometime next month. And the game is actually looking in a really good shape currently. We'll boot it up halfway through this this Q&A to just show you guys where it's at, because there is a question that asks, oh, what's the percentage done of everything in AR? So when we ask that question later, I'll boot up AR and show you guys. But yeah, I mean, the game is looking very good. It's very fun at the moment. We are lacking quite a lot of art assets in the terms of environment art. A lot of our levels are very kind of grey box at the moment. in terms of the fact that they're mainly just terrain with a kind of debug texture on, with no real kind of cover for infantry or anything like that. And obviously the game's still evolving over time as we're making it. But yeah, we do hope to kind of get something out to you guys sooner rather than later, because we can appreciate it's been quite a long time. This one's been in the oven for, so yeah, definitely we want to kind of prioritize it. The two projects we're prioritizing right now in terms of WED Hub development is our Battle for Dune and Apocalypse Rising. So we'll be taking those and giving those a lot of love in the coming months. So yeah, I hope that that answers that question. And obviously 20.
Hold on. Just a note. What's the question percentage?
That question's later on. Well, I'll let you know.
Oh, excuse me.
So yeah, the 20th birthday of Renegade is a big deal next year. I think this whole event that we've been doing for the 19th birthday has been kind of a really good show of force for the Renegade community, and it's been a really good test for next year, which will be the super blowout celebration, obviously, because Renegade will turn 20, and it's going to be awesome. And we're all going to be hopefully here to celebrate that, and maybe even do something even more special. So yeah, that would be absolutely brilliant. But obviously can't commit to anything AR wise, because we don't want to basically dangle something in front of you and then realise that we can't deliver that. So once we are comfortable or confident that we can deliver AR, then we will start announcing dates and stuff for you guys, and that's when the internet AR is going to break the internet, I think. So yeah, we hope at least. Right, okay, so if we're all done on that question, we can move on to the next one, which is, will we ever have dogs in APB? And this is asked by Bark.
For the name.
ChopBam.
Yes. So in response to this question, I'm wanting to say yes, if there's a big if there, if we can find an iteration for the dogs and the implementation that is fun. If they are player controllable, they would need to be fun for the user and able to be countered by the people that the dog is fighting against. Right now, we have an iteration in Apocalypse Rising of the dog, and the dog has been in there for a while, where the current implementation isn't quite how we want it to be because it's been tried. And in a minute, a couple of the others can chime in on how dogs, how that implementation works. But as far as the APB question, I do have an idea for how we could try dogs on a first go, and that might involve some sort of base defense where the dog is not player controllable, where the dog can defend against spies primarily as a counter to them, because right now spies can be used in a few ways. Probably the biggest one being that they can steal vehicles right out of the war factory, etc. So dogs could be a good counter to those. So I totally grant that spies can be a good, or dogs can be a good implementation in the game. We would just need to have an implementation that is fun for them.
Yeah, just to riff off that, we have been trying dogs in AR quite a fair bit. It's a very difficult situation because we're basically reusing the infantry style rigging and setup to do dogs, and at the moment it's the main kind of wrinkle we've been encountering is with the weaponry, because of course if Renegade has no melee weapons, which is kind of an interesting point, and we've been trying to kind of make fake melee weapons for a long time using basically a very short ranged weapon, and the problem with that is that we haven't really been able to do it. But it means that dogs have had to be very, very pinpoint accurate, so you end up with this kind of situation where an infantry encounters a dog and then they just dance around each other for a bit until either the infantry kills the dog or the dog gets a lucky chance to just kill the infantry, and it feels like a really kind of weird interaction at the moment in the game. So we had a bit of a think about it and how we could improve this, and we started using these things called projectile extensions, which are basically a bigger physical extension of what the projectile is. So we can basically scale up the hitbox of a projectile to make it hit a lot easier. So when a dog attacks, it's got kind of a big hitbox that it can fire to kind of then check to see whether it's hit something or not, which has been quite interesting. Obviously, though, it's quite inaccurate because it can get stuck on terrain and do all this kind of weird stuff, and it's not been truly reliable. We also tried doing like a scripted thing where we attach a bone or something along those lines to every infantry in the game, and basically the attack dog has a jump, and then he jumps onto the infantry, and then there's kind of some kind of like interaction between the two as the dog kind of gets attached to the infantry. That was another kind of route we went, but we found that to be quite clunky as well. There was a whole thing about we wanted dogs to stun infantry and slow them down, or even stop them like EMP mines and webs could in Reborn. We tried that and it wasn't very fun. So we've been really kind of exhausting our every avenue that we can possibly do to kind of get dogs working. It's not been a case of us not trying. We've kind of been really hammering away at it. And then the last thing we've kind of been looking at is, at the moment, the current iteration of dogs is that they use something called a damage zone. So basically, whenever you click the button, a big box appears in front of the dog, a big invisible box. And if any infantry is inside that box, it will get damaged. So that is currently where we're at. I think that's how other FPS games at least, handle melee weaponry to an extent as well. So I don't think we've fully exhausted that avenue yet, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether that is the silver bullet that makes it fun, or whether we have to go back to the drawing board and think about it again. But yeah,
also worth noting. Oh, go on.
Amusa?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to grab the opportunity to say, if you guys can think of anything for the tag dog, or you think there's a role it should fill, just feel free to write it down, and we'll definitely take a look at it. Maybe your idea will get in game.
Yeah,
who knows?
Definitely, we're always up for your ideas. So be sure to stop by our Discord or by our forum and let us know what you think.
I should add that one difficulty with this is figuring out, even if we figure it out mechanically, we need to figure out the balance side. There's existing units where the role is sort of questioned after each session, whether we think maybe it's better to do it this way or we should change it. Slotting in the attack dog, we need to figure out for it, why do we need this guy instead of the other, I don't know how many guys, and it's also do we enable it for both factions? If not, then what do we do to make sure that the other side is happy, etc. There's more than just implementing it. If we wanted, we could implement a ton of things, but we also have to figure out how to fit it into the actual balance.
Yeah, it's the two sides of it. It's got to be fun to play as the player who's playing as it, and it's got to be fun to play against as the player who's going to be on the receiving end. So that's the kind of the level of interaction we're kind of trying to look for when we're designing around the dogs. But I think I'm still hopeful that we'll get there. That's one of those things that it just takes time to prototype and just get through, and eventually we'll have something cool. Dogs are quite big at the moment as well, which is cool. We've got big dogs. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add to dogs before we move on? I'll take that as a no. Hopefully that satisfies your questions. Right. All right, we've got a very deep question here. How has this is from Chroma Spread, and this is, how has Wed Hub's or W3D Hub's internal culture evolved over the years? And a fantastic quote here, because this is all very troubling and heightens my own concerns about the fact that many questions often get answered fairly and intelligently to everyone's benefit. How dare you? Okay, yeah, that's a good meme. Yeah, so I'll post this one in chat. Does anyone want to chime in on this one? Or I could just start by saying, once I've typed it in, I'd say that kind of like our internal culture has definitely come a long way since we started modding these games all those years ago. a bit of history for the community here is that back way when we started AR initially, Red Alert 2 Apocalypse Rising initially merged with Red Alert: A Path Beyond, which had recently broken up with Tiberiansun Reborn, and we formed Blue Hell Productions. And then C&C Reborn, or Tiberiansun Reborn, then rejoined, and we had all three mods under one roof for a bit. I think Reborn then left again, and then rejoined again, and then both Apocalypse Rising and Tiberiansun Reborn split off from Blue Hell Productions, and it was all very messy. And we formed W3D Hub. The difference kind of between Blue Hell Productions and W3D Hub, I think, is kind of the fact that we made ourselves a bit more of a committee, and we kind of all respected each other's kind of authority, in the sense that when we made big decisions, we'd make them together. We had a big kind of we call them the Wiseman's Committee, where we have 6 people who sit at the top of Wed Hub, and we've all got administrative rights. We all have ownership over different things. So for anyone who's kind of labelled as an admin here, so that's Dan Paul, that's Jared, that's Moonsense, that's me, Team Wolf, and Strike. We're all members of the Wiseman Committee. And then further down there, you've got the staff moderators. So that's people like Nodlide, Einstein, Fredo, ChopBam, and all these people who are kind of designed to sit in something we like to call the command team. And we kind of do a lot of kind of decision making together now. And generally, like, because we kind of all respect each other's judgment and decisions, and we've kind of been through all of the drama in the past together and stuff like that, we generally have a very, very frictionless development process here at W3D Hub. And it's really kind of testament to all the years that we've kind of put into this community, and the kind of the relationships we've built with each other, that in the fact that we kind of respect each other, and we don't kind of get to the point where we're shouting until we're blue at the face at each other and hurting each other's feelings, because that's just not productive for what we want to achieve. I think there's a lot to be said about kind of the interpersonal relationships between each other, between all of our developers here, and the fact that we kind of we allow anyone to kind of move around and jump into whatever project they want to do, or anything like that, is kind of cool as well, because it allows people to kind of not get burnt out on singular projects, and it allows them to jump around and stuff. So for example, like I'm moving on to doing some work for APB at the moment while I'm just off AR. I'm making some improvements to the Tesla tank. That's been quite nice. And ChopBam's been very kind of encouraging towards me to get in and get stuck in with that. So it's kind of cool. Like we have a really good tight ship over here, and obviously our infrastructure as well kind of feeds back into what we're developing as well. So we all sit in our Slack channel. We develop all of our games together, and we have integrations that feed into our Slack channels that kind of inform our development on Trello and on Git and all this kind of stuff. So we've built kind of like a really nice infrastructure that we kind of work on, as well as kind of like all the fantastic launcher stuff that Dan Paul's done as well, and Strike in hosting that. It's really kind of enabled us to provide such a kind of cohesive service in terms of getting WedHub out there as kind of like a modding platform. And I think it's been really, really good over the years, and it gets better every year. I think we're always improving stuff. I think we're working on revamping our website at the moment, which is really good. But yeah, I've kind of rambled on for long enough. So does anyone else want to jump in on this question?
Other than it's been a pleasure to be here for the last 6 years already. Hi, Kane. Not really.
Yeah, I think you pretty much summarized it quite very well. The fact that it's been like a constant refining process. We've learned a lot of lessons over the years. We've learned how well we can collaborate on projects, and getting our systems in place for our infrastructure, and also getting a process for how we go about everyday tasks and project tasks, and how we're more of like a collaboration more than ever for Renegade modding than I think the community's ever seen. It's just a very, very pleasant place to be, and it's a very nice working environment.
As far as the questions about the culture, at this point, we're basically all friends here. People who frequent the Discord may see us, staff members like hanging out in the voice channels almost every day, just hanging out, streaming to each other, developing, playing games, chatting. There's a lot of development that happens here. In addition to that, a lot of development happening in Slack, which the public typically does not see. So there's a lot of things that happen under the hood, a lot of things that happen over the hood here at on Discord, and I would say it's very, as to bounce off what Team Wolf said, it's a very nice place to be.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to. I think one of the greatest things is being able to, sort of bounce around from project to project as needed. Just be able to say, oh, something needs doing in AR, I can get it done, help move it on. Something needs doing in BFD, I can do that. And just being able to just do all that sort of work without getting stuck on sort of your own thing and being trapped in one little box is really quite nice.
Yeah, and the fact that our games share the pretty much the same game engine is that we are able to have a lot of crossover as far as features, as far as staff skills. Like for AR maps, I've been able to submit a little bit of work there, and kill messages, etc. And then, as Oa mentioned, he's been able to help out APB by working on the Tesla tank a bit. And the examples go on and on and on of the crossover and help, and it's a collaborative effort that is very fruitful.
Yeah, all of the work that we put into the engine does benefit just about every project as well. I don't know if you want to just say something about that, Janosch.
I'm struggling to think of what I could say besides repeating what everyone else says, but no, seriously, it's a lot of fun. It's the most fun you can. Honestly, even more fun than possibly any kind of quote unquote job one might have. You get to have a ton of creative freedom. You get to try out a bunch of things that you probably would never get to try out anywhere else. Really, it's just and all done so everyone's doing it without any sort of pay motive, any sort of who's going to be the most popular after this. Really, it's a fantastic experience, and it helps that the community is nice about it too. If you look around, you read a lot of stories. There have been some recent examples of communities that were where the culture was less than ideal. It unfortunately does happen to a lot of groups because already it's just a few people that you'd find who'd be committed enough to work on this. And even fewer are possibly good team players, even if they're passionate. So we're very fortunate to have such good people here.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, you work with each other long enough, you learn to put your egos aside, and kind of be humble with each other. And I think we've kind of got that here. And there was something I was going to mention, and it's just completely.
Yeah, it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yes. Yeah. And I think the way we can kind of cross develop all the different mods or fan games or whatever you want to call them at any given time is really good. We've definitely got a lot of crossover, which is really good. And of course, that's what I was going to mention. Several of us are actually like professional video game developers as well, and we come and we do this after work. So we're kind of going to work all day making video games and then coming out back here and making more video games. So this is kind of the kind of environment we have here is really kind of, it energizes us to really kind of do more and make more video games. So it's really good. All right. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. We can move on to the next one. All right. Zua, I think it's pronounced. 124 asks, was he really 5 meters away from you? I think this is more a question for Pyrile, but he's not here.
I think I can answer the question. The answer is both yes and no.
Yeah, I think that summarizes that.
Yeah, I think that's generally the case. That video is amazing though, so if anyone could link it in the chat, that would be very, very nice. Right, I guess we'll move on to the next question. Do you think that Apocalypse Rising... Oh, this is from Anoncat. Do you think that Apocalypse Rising will give us the largest boost of players in a long time? And to that, I'd like to say yes. The real answer is I don't know. Generally, though, the trend is that people really enjoy Redalert 2 and yurisrevenge, and there's been an absolutely massive clamouring for people who want to play the C&C remasters, but Redalert 2 and tiberiansun. So yeah, I think there's definitely some kind of merit in there being maybe a correlation between AR and a massive increase in players. I'd like to think that would be the case. Obviously, I don't know. We haven't released it yet. So, what do you think, Moonsense?
Yes. Hopefully, yes, because I'm gonna make sure that we focus our resources to get the word out, really, get the word out to the world, get streamers on release day, and all sorts of experiences we've got so far with how to publicate our games, how to get more players. Obviously, you see, this is currently Renegade's birthday today, and it's been a blast. So I think we're just gaining even more experience from hosting these events, and we're getting better. Hopefully, upon AR's release, definitely it's going to be a lot of players.
Yeah, definitely, and that's even without all of the stuff that we're doing behind the scenes on the stats system and all sorts, right?
I'm just referring to our own experience, how to publicate something, and not involving the general aspect of people just loving RE2. And hopefully that will also help us.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of love for Redalert 2 in the community, so definitely this is the game we want to make, because it's going to be the only one of the only games where you can fly a Kirov airship and you can crush enemy tanks in the battle fortress, and you can pull off a barrel roll in the Harrier or the Black Eagle and snipe that flak track, and it's going to be absolutely incredible for kind of fulfilling that fantasy of I want to play Redalert 2 but at the ground level, and we're the only game that does that, so that's always good.
Yeah, I mean, I just posted a video of I think a Chinese YouTube channel who created a video from all of our content he's found on the internet, and it had over 40,000 views. So that's the kind of interest I'm seeing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. There's and that's using old footage as well. The game looks kind of like that, but it doesn't look much like that anymore. We've kind of increased all the level of fidelity of all the art and everything in that scene in that since then. So it's big stuff.
Yeah, the video currently has over 70,000 views. So videos like this tend to blow up a lot, which is speaks well for when the game releases, what kind of activity we can see.
Yeah, most definitely. I think as soon as we get some finish off a bit of the art and get some more of the maps finalized, we can start looking at letting you guys come in and have a play. But yeah, on to the next question. Commander Cool asks, do Tiberian Fiends eat Tiberium, or do they poop Tiberium, or maybe both? Apparently, Commander Cool had a dog and he ate poop sometimes. So, yeah. What's the general consensus on this one, guys? Do Tiberium Fiends eat Tiberium, or do they poop Tiberium?
Well, there's the saying that you are what you eat. So.
He's asking because fiends are always inside Tiberium fields, and is it because Why is it? I think that's the question.
This could explain where blue Tiberium comes from.
Maybe
I think the Fiend is not like the sandworm from Dune.
most definitely.
Well, sandworms don't eat spice; they just produce it.
Yeah, I think that's the question for the Tiberian Fiend as well.
I guess Tiberian Fiend kind of produces Tiberium. It's got all those crystals on its back, and then when you kill it, it explodes into like Tiberium. So,
Yeah.
so maybe. I don't think we can really answer this question because we don't work for EA, and they know the answer. All right.
As an aside to that, I also have a dog that eats poop, so I know the feeling.
Oh, buddy.
Nice.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This question is HU. That's literally it. So I'm gonna interpret that as how are you? So how are you, ChopBam? How you doing?
I'm doing all right today. Got my coffee, I've got my dog, and I'm on the Q&A. This is good.
All right, CMD Bob, how are you?
All right, and just getting on with stuff.
Excellent.
More to say, really.
Moonsense, how you doing?
Doing great, thank you for the question.
Nodload, how are you?
In short.
Nodload, how are you?
Not a lot left to get a drink for a moment. He'll be
Nodload
back.
left to get a drink. Fair play. I'm doing fine. Team Wolf, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Working on some Battlefield Dune today, so always hyped.
Excellent. Now, this question was asked by Beretti, so cheers for that one. All right. So will there ever be, this is from C&C LOL, will there ever be some sort of event, for example a game night for ECW? I feel this game has so much content yet not enough players. So let me just post that one in. Yes, so this is a very interesting question because obviously ECW has an absolute metric ton of content, and it's one of the most exciting things on the W3D engine. It does have a few issues though, and that's mainly due to compatibility because it's running on a very old version of the Renegade custom scripts DLL. It's running 3.4.4, I believe, which is behind what Renegade's on currently, which is 4.7, and then obviously behind what redalert, Path Beyond, and others are using at the moment, which is Scripts 5 or Engine 5, as we're calling it now. So yeah, it's quite an interesting one. If we definitely want to do a game night on it. That would be really, really good. If we can kind of write some guides on how to kind of sidestep a lot of the issues with it. There's obviously a big black screen issue with it that is kind of quite tricky to sidestep at times. But yeah, most definitely, I think it'd be really cool to get everyone on ECW. Yeah, obviously, yeah. As Moonsense just says, ECW still has the blue hell bug because it's not on a newer version of scripts. But yeah, if we can write up some guides for it, yeah, definitely we can have some ECW nights. What does everyone else think about that on the panel?
Yeah,
For it?
Should ask VR.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I play it whenever I get a chance. I think it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
On some level, with a lot of the work we do, I guess I should toss that in. Unfortunately, a lot of the work we do is kind of invisible in the sense that you won't really see it. It's not directly any sort of cool new feature. It's just to make that the game doesn't fall apart behind the scenes. And one of the major aims of this is that it's been floated around that potentially those other projects could be brought forward to the latest version of scripts. Right now, the projects are holding off on that because of the instability issues and the performance issues and all that. So maybe eventually, someday, that could change. Or kind of one of the major things we're working toward is stuff like that, or at least being able to guarantee that. We still don't know beyond then if they're going to decide to move forward with that. But
Yeah, obviously, it's all up to Jared on that one as the leader of that project, and we obviously we're all for anything that happens with ECW because we think it's just a fantastic game with lots and lots of content that we'd definitely like to see more people playing in the future. And if
Even has more content than IA, which is something to say.
If you haven't had a chance to get to play ECW, play it because it's like nothing else out there. It's definitely a lot of it's definitely got a lot of things going for it. All right, so thanks for that one. Let's move on to the next question. All right, it's C&C LOL again with another question, and that's in how many percentages is Apocalypse Rising done, and can we at least expect it this year? I'm not trying to set any deadlines. I've just been waiting to play it for quite some time, haven't we all? I do know that it's a fan-made project and doesn't really have much resources. Just curious. Okay, I will just post this.
I do have to say that I have seen some punctuation and spelling errors.
Where?
I'm not going to further up on that because I am not going to go to work today.
All right.
To mention it.
Right, so we can take this opportunity to boot up AR and show you guys actually. So we'll just do it live.
No.
Yeah, man, I'll join you.
Yeah.
Cool. I will do that in a sec. I'm just going to answer a thing on YouTube. Okay. Right. So yeah, let's do it. I will boot up AR now, and I will stream it to. I can stream it to everyone in Discord, and obviously it will be on the Twitch and YouTube streams as well for everyone, and then anyone who's also watching via Facebook as well, because Chronostorm has kindly restreamed us onto Facebook as well, so we're everywhere right now, which is great. It's all that great feeling when everything just works, right?
Server is offline.
I just started it so you can join now.
Good. Thank you.
Apocalypse Rising worldwide. Here we go. So.
Should I disable the bots?
There you go. The stream is live in Discord now. And yeah, if you could disable the bots, that would be lovely. And here we are in AR. And I've just realised I've done this wrong. I should have done it. I should have launched it through the launcher. So give me a sec.
Yeah, you're not in the server.
Yes, I should have. Yeah. You know, this many years working on the game, you thought I would have been able to do it right?
No.
Team of just being nice as usual.
This
Okay.
people is why it's not been released yet.
Indeed. Right, I'm going to start restreaming on... there we go. So we're back on Discord. And we're also back on Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, here we are in AR. So as you can see, everyone, there's quite a lot of work to be done on the maps. We're kind of using this debug texture. Everything's kind of grey, and yeah, it's still got a lot left to be done on it. But we have been working on a lot of the vehicles, a lot of the characters and stuff like that, making sure that a lot of the stuff has been kind of getting upgraded and stuff. Obviously, Griever's there in Terror Drone. Hey, Griever. And so yeah, I guess if you guys want to jump in and ask away on what you want to see, what you're interested in, just leave us some messages in chat, and we'll start wheeling it out for you to show off. So I can just do a quick tour of the structures. Moonsense has actually been working quite extensively on these, so I'll just show you the Tesla reactor first. So you go down into here, and this thing here is the weak point. It's the Tesla power core. Obviously you can go back up there, or you can come down into the basement, and this is where you place your C4. You can also come up here, and there's like this overhanging kind of gallery area. In the game, you've got obviously purchase terminals. Purchase terminals have got an overhead map on, so you can see like what's happening with your team here. And also our sidebar is a bit different to what you've seen previously in APB. So basically all of the infantry are on a tab, like in Red Alert 2. You click on them once and it shows you all of the cool stuff. So like a conscript attack dog, it shows you that the attack dog is a canine scout, detects spies, strong versus infantry, weak versus vehicles and aircraft. It's basic information that you guys will know about the unit. So I'm going to pick a flak trooper.
At least I have a job.
And this guy is like strong versus infantry and air, but weak against tanks. So there's the dog. Vincent's is woofing at me. So yeah, let's go up and have a look. I believe someone has said if there's an interior to the barracks on YouTube, so I'm going to go into the barracks next. So yeah, so Blue Summers asks about the weak point idea, or basically made a comment about it. We've changed the way the weak point system works. Initially, like before, we had a weak point system where you would have kind of like a weak point and then a minor weak point. And the minor weak point, if you disable it, would disable the building, and the major weak point, it would destroy the building if you destroyed it. We kind of went away from that because we were finding out it was really, really hard to communicate to players what was happening with their base. So in general, it's kind of been a bit of a regression back to the old Renegade MCT system, but we've made the actual models of the weak points fit kind of like a more of a functional aesthetic. So yeah, we've got the barracks here. It's got loads of beds. There's a kind of officer's office in here where they've got all the country flags. They've got a little apocalypse tank on the desk and stuff. It's all little bits of Easter eggs. We've got the cafeteria here with everyone's favourite communist chef, Mama Romanov. She is the Soviet cafeteria warden and loves to cook for all of her Soviet boys. So yeah, this is the barracks. This is pretty cool. Right, I'm just going to look for any other questions. Obviously, everything's green at the moment because we've got a desolator in the base. Aha, there he is. ChopBam, do you wanna draw me a picture? There we go. So he's gonna. Currently with the desolator, we're basically experimenting with making him able to draw goo on the floor, and eventually what we want to do is have it so that it lasts for a certain amount of time, and then if you stand in it, you take damage. So that's pretty fun. We've got dogs. We've got spy. Yeah, let's test out the new spy logic. Are you actually a spy, Nodlight, or? Oh no,
I am a terrorist.
You're a terrorist. So everything is green at the moment because the desolator just used its special ability. Well, yeah, we've got the war factory here. I'm just going to go and buy a tank. So, which vehicle should I buy, chat?
My truck is loaded.
Tesla tank, Rhino tank, APOC. Tesla? I'll do a Tesla tank, I'll do an APOC tank. So, let's do Tesla tank. So, when you build a vehicle, it comes up through the factory like this. Very, very cool. And drives out the front. Eventually, we're going to have some markers on this, so basically to call out, oh hey, your vehicle's been built, so you can get it. Have I gotten stuck? I think, yeah, I've gotten stuck. You might need to just push me out of the way. Okay, there we go. Right. So yeah, I'm lagging about a bit, but yeah, Tesla tank is pretty cool. You've got 2 camera mode or 3 camera modes, or 2 camera modes at the moment. And it looks like this when you shock it. The Tesla bolts are really cool. I really like the way they look currently. And yeah, it's looking really cool. Also, something you can do with the Tesla tank, you'll see you get this charge icon on the Tesla coil. If we get out, it means I can't see it. But because I'm in a Tesla weapon, when I'm in the Tesla tank, I can shoot Tesla coil, and that will charge it up to supercharge it. And there's a whole bunch of visuals associated with that, so that's really cool. It means also when your power goes off, you can charge Tesla coil using Tesla tank. So yeah, could drive around. This is generally a really fun tank at the moment. A bit like how it works in APB, kind of glass cannon, lots of high health and low health and high damage. So yeah, we'll go and get the Apocalypse tank next.
Building. Unit ready.
So this is actually the oldest model we have in the game, or one of the oldest models we have in the game. Soviet Deso made this model for us about 12 years ago, maybe even longer than that. It's just been in the game ever since. We are planning to make a new model before this game gets released. But yeah, Apocalypse tank is just an absolute beast. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as how the Mammoth tank works in APB if you've ever played that, or in Renegade as well. This is this is also a good point from Guard 55 here. He asks, when the Apocalypse tank blows up vehicles or kills enemy players, does it say its voice lines? And this is true for any unit. When any unit in the game kills something, they say one of their voice lines from Red Alert 2.
We have a Mirage tank coming towards the base from the southwestern side, so perhaps you could try. See if it works.
Yeah. Let's go and have a look. It's quite funny how everyone's jumped onto the Soviet team as well. Blue Summers asked, will the old models be available as skins? Yeah, I'm fully open to releasing the old models as skin options later on. That's definitely something. If the community wants it, we can definitely do that. That rock looks very suspect. Haha.
Oh no.
I'm just going to crank up the audio so you guys can hear it.
Taste your mortality.
So yeah, that works for every single unit in the game. So when you kill a vehicle or attack, if you kill a vehicle or get a kill on infantry, it will say a line. Now got Kirovs in. Choppy, do you want to change to the machine gun and show him that?
How do you do that?
It's 2 on your keyboard.
Sick.
So we basically gave the Kirov a little machine gun because we thought it would be really boring if you just fly this this thing to the base and you're just dropping bombs to the enemy base and you're just dropping bombs. So we thought, you know, we'll give it a little gun so it can shoot things on the way. Change back to your bombs, please, Choppy. So basically, when the Kirov re-enables its bombs, anyone in the vicinity will get a warning that it's just about to bomb everything. So it's going to be really awesome. We want the Kirov to kind of speak through like a loudspeaker, so it adds a load of character to that unit. It's basically just a big echoing voice over the battlefield. So all sorts of stuff going on. We've got a siege chopper here. We've got Boris, who's going to launch an airstrike. We've got a couple of terror drones. I'm moving in. Got a Harrier that's just launched. Just let us. How far is the airstrike off? We'll just let that play out. All right, MiGs are on the way. So where's the MiGs? Here they are. There's all sorts happening.
V3 launch unit.
So yeah, there's all sorts. Does anyone have any kind of other questions? Oh, I guess Chronostorm's got a question here. Is the Kirov model going to be bigger? Is this a definitive size? I would like the Kirov model to be a lot bigger, and that's my
Me too.
That's my personal preference. We're going to be doing that sometime soon. is kind of small at the moment.
We need to test this first, though.
Definitely, yeah. Every change we do, we make sure the testers know about it and we change it. Still lots of green here. I guess this Desolator's been having a bit too much fun.
Moving out.
All right.
Have you also shown the overhead map when you press tab?
Yes, of course. When you hit tab, you get to see the overhead map. This basically shows you all that's going on the battlefield, and shows you where you need to go as a player. We hope to basically introduce more icons for more vehicles and stuff, and it's going to be really good. Also shows you where the map boundaries are, which is really useful. This is those who view with keen eyes will recognise that this is actually Keep Off the Grass from APB, but we've just taken it and put AR buildings on it. So yeah, in terms of the percentages, like of how far everything is done, I'd say. I mean, Moonsense, do you wanna comment on that one?
I'm going.
Yeah, I cannot see percentage, but we are in alpha stage right now, which is a milestone. I don't know how you can translate that into percentage. But yeah,
Let's clear the air.
we are good.
Yeah, it's a lot closer to release than we've ever been before, in terms of. So that's that. So yeah, is there anything anyone else wants to see before we kind of move on to the next question? Battle Fortress. You can show the Battle Fortress. The War Miner. Alright, I'll show the War Miner quickly, and then we'll do the Battle Fortress.
Building. Unit ready.
Building Soviet economy.
So this is kind of old at the moment. We've actually got a new build where that we haven't put on the launcher yet, where we get rid of this big bar on the top of it, and all of the stuff that tracks where you're. I'm just going to turn the sound down again. All the stuff that tracks how much ore you're carrying is on the HUD. So that's going to be really, really cool to not have this big bar floating everywhere.
Unit ready.
But yeah, this is the obviously the big bar gets in the way, but this is the War Miner as it is now. We haven't seen anyone do War Miner rushes in a while. Previously, that was the thing.
Unit ready.
Let's keep our distance.
The miner count was limited.
Yeah, the miner count was limited. But yeah, this is pretty much the War Miner. So yeah, I guess I'll change teams. Does somebody want to give me a bit of money or buy me a Battle Fortress?
Ready.
Yeah, just give me a minute or two.
Allied base is not looking healthy at the moment. As you can see, one of the other things we're adding is, I've mentioned the objective markers earlier. I can see when something needs repairing, so if I want to go and repair something as a technician, I could just go in here and I know that this needs repairing,
My truck is loaded.
because it's got a little icon on it. Very, very handy. So Blue Summers asks, can you entrench as the GI? So yeah,
Orders.
I will show you that. You hit Q and you can do entrench, and you get the better gun. So normally you have the MP5, and then when you entrench, you get the parasol. So that's really cool. You can't jump out of the barrier. We had lots of problems with people jumping out of the barriers or deploying it when they're on a ladder and jumping out the bottom. We've pretty much solved all of those problems now, which is good. And you only get the other weapon when you deploy, which is cool. Can technicians repair vehicles? Technicians can repair vehicles. There you go.
Okay.
We thought that it would be nice to have technicians repair vehicles, as well as engineers. Engineers can also repair vehicles, because we feel that the in-field gameplay of AR is kind of important, and we want some way for players to be able to keep repairing their vehicles in the field and not have to require like a repair IFV or anything like that. So it's kind of useful as a piece of utility. Whether we keep it or not for release is like it's up for debate, but I think it's quite cool right now. Right, so General Camo has bought a Battle Fortress. I'm gonna buy a Guardian GI.
On the mark, sir.
So basically, the Battle Fortress has all these different turrets. You can basically get into one of them and use this cannon. The cannon at the moment is kind of placeholder. We're probably going to change it back to some sort of machine gun in the future, or auto cannon. It's just got tons and tons of weapons. You can hit Q and it will change to your infantry specific weapon. So now I'm firing rockets, which is really cool. Do you want to crush that heavy tank, Camo?
Nothing can stop us.
So yeah, basically the Battle Fortress can run over other tanks like that and crush them, which is really cool. Also, if I want to move around within the vehicle to a different turret to get a better angle, I can hit spacebar and that will change my turret. So basically this thing is a big kind of rolling pile of destruction. It's really fun. So yeah.
Akira on the ground. Kind of. Not.
I think it wouldn't be able to yeah, C&C LOL says it can outspeed a tank. Basically, I think Nod lied let me crush him just so we could demonstrate it. He could probably have gotten away from that if he was trying. Alright. Has anybody got a Terror Drone? Yeah, there's a Terror Drone right there. So the Terror Drone is a very interesting unit. It's now inside our Battle Fortress. Has anyone bought an engineer? I guess not. We're not going to escape this one. Haha! The Terror Drone is beating us. But yeah, it's quite an interesting little unit. That it's probably the only vehicle in the game that could jump as well, which is it's quite interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. This is pretty much where we're at. Obviously, we want to make some more improvements to the maps and stuff, and moving forward. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So this javelin model was made by Romanoff, I believe. So yeah. Right, I hope that answers your question. We'll jump out of game now and return to the questions and stuff. And then maybe Team Wolf, if you want to jump into BFD later on, we can show some BFD as well. If you're up for that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Right. Cool. All right. Thanks for watching this, guys. We're gonna now go back to the questions, and yeah, we'll call it there for showing AR off. Cool. Right. So we'll head back to the questions now. Yeah, and then later on during the Q&A, Team Wolf, if you stream some BFD, we can run through that as well.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah. So that's that question over. The next question, if everyone's ready. We all ready?
Mm-hmm.
ChopBam, ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Moonsense, you ready?
Hello?
Hello, we're all ready? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
For what?
For the next question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
The next question is probably my favourite question. Just saying. This is from Mr. Draberni. And the question is, would you consider remaking the W3D mods on Unreal Renegade X's engine? What would you want? And also, there's another question. Okay, we'll answer that one first, and then we'll move on to the he's asked two questions. So yeah, let's. The current question is this, which is, would you consider remaking W3D mods on Unreal Renegade X's engine? Does anyone want to start this one off, or I can start it? I don't mind.
Take it away.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a few interesting things to unpack here. Obviously, there's been several people over the years that have just been like, oh, Renegade X is out. Let's go and come on W3D Hub or come on Blue Hell Productions. Let's go and make your mods on Unreal or Renegade X's engine. And there's always been kind of like a simple answer I've been returning to, and that answer is we actually like developing on the W3D engine. It's actually it's actually a very fun engine to develop for, and we kind of understand, like, yeah, of course we get all of these kind of amazing tools with Unreal and stuff like that, and we would get these amazingly killer graphics. But a lot of our team is not kind of specialized in creating art for that engine either. So we're kind of very we would have to relearn a lot of what we know to be able to actually make the projects on that engine, and also we would have to basically find a load of new artists or something similar to actually get the projects off the ground. I think the fact that we develop on the Renegade engine is not really kind of like it shouldn't really be seen as a weakness, in the sense that we actually have a lot of freedom on the Renegade engine, and we generally really enjoy using it. And I think if we were to go and make kind of higher fidelity projects that require a lot more work in terms of making stuff on the Unreal engine, then I feel that would kind of take a lot of the fun out of it. And I know I can speak for a few people here who are kind of really, really keen on our kind of tool set, and they really enjoy developing for our engine. And I think whilst a kind of like a high fidelity HD version of any of our games would be really, really awesome to see, it just boils down to the fact that we kind of really enjoy developing on Renegade, and we don't really want to change our engine because we'd have to relearn a load of stuff. So yeah, does anyone else want to jump in on that one?
Yeah, I think I do a lot of work with Unreal for my regular job. And yeah, Unreal's great for a lot of things. But there's a lot of things that the Renegade engine gives us that we'd have to remake if we were doing it in Unreal. So there'd be a lot of work in other things, not just art as well. So it's not quite as simple as remake it, I suppose.
Most definitely, yeah.
I think a thing that people forget if they bring this up, from a developer perspective, we'd probably be happier working with something that's more like a more proprietary, more current gen set of tools. But there's a principle involved, which is keeping something alive. So what we're doing isn't just making APB, making AR. Those are great things on their own, but we're also keeping Renegade as a thing alive, which has its own identity for better or worse. That's kind of part of it. The other half is obviously the freedom it gives us to work with it. But if we moved on, like, that would still be, it would be a remake, I suppose, but it wouldn't really be the same game. And it's like, so yeah, that's just what I'd add to that.
And let's remember that the feel of the game would also be completely different because of the different physics in Unreal compared to W3D, as well as obviously a few other things. We will never be able to replicate the feel we have right now, and that's something that makes our game special on this engine. Yeah,
and there's also the fact that the W3D engine can actually run on potato computers, so that's it's very, very good for getting lots and lots of people in who want to play it. Like even though like Renegade X and Unreal Engine still has quite a relatively high bar to enter in terms of getting it to run on your computer and stuff like that, whereas the bar with W3D Hub in comparison, or with W3D Hub projects in comparison, is much lower. So you can kind of afford to have a more of a potato computer and or a low spec computer and still play and still join in.
And I would like to add something there as far as like the momentum. I don't want to understress the momentum of already knowing the tools, seeing developments happen in those tools that we could have only dreamed of 10, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago. When I started as a staff member in 2008, we had 3ds Max 8 and level edit. And I didn't know what I was really missing out on. I just sort of chugged through with the limitations of those tools. But now we have developments in our tools where things are way more streamlined as far as map export, as far as batch exporting, rendering, etc. And just the knowledge that it would take to do something completely new is, for me, a little bit. I'm more motivated when it comes to things that I know already on a game that I have a lot of fun on, and have a lot of fun working on. So momentum is a great thing to say there.
People are joking about being able to run a Renegade on a toaster or a microwave or stuff like that. That's kind of the point, actually. So there's people who do modding really ridiculous things into Halo, for example, which itself is over 20 years old almost. There's no practical reason to be goofing around with Halo anymore, but the point of it is kind of, hey, can we make this thing work, which is now a contemporary thing? Can we make it work in a 20-year-old game? That's almost as fun as being able to do it. It's not as fun in terms of getting something that's nice and stable and runs really well and millions of people can play it, but it's really fun to try and make it with something which is ancient and weird. And it's a good learning experience, too.
Most definitely. I just want to highlight something here. I've got a bit of a live demonstration set up. So I'm just going to stream my screen briefly. Let's see. Okay, right. So if I go live here and I just change this over. Right. So if I wanted to, I'm looking at the repository for Tiberiansun Reborn right now, and if I wanted to build the game right now, I would have to basically build always, which is our that's where all the kind of the data is stored, so the vehicles, the characters, and everything like that, and then I would have to go into level edit, load it up for each map, and then generate the lighting. And then save out each map, closing and loading level edit each time to load in the correct maps. Now, this is how we used to mod Renegade. And it took ages, absolutely ages, to build the game and make the builds that you see for example, old Red Alert Path Beyond, 9035, Beta. Those builds were made painstakingly by loading level edit repeatedly and saving out all these files and hoping to God that it worked. Now we have a nice little tool that I think it was originally made by Saberhawk called Artillery. And what Artillery does is whenever I make a change to the game, or whenever I want and I want to kind of preview that change, or I want to build the game with that change, I can basically just save what I've done in whatever map that I've made. I can go into here, I can double click Artillery, and boom, it's built the game for me. And that's pretty much the whole deal with it. Like, our toolage over this kind of this modding has become a lot more kind of advanced and professional and all sorts. Like, I did do it some disservice, actually. I did actually fake that. If I actually go in and I delete all of my files here, that's probably a good idea, because it's basically I had everything cached. But yeah, I will go back into this and I run Artillery, and then now it's actually building the game, and it will run through all the files it has to build. It will build all the light solve. It will build. I think it will build the path. No, it doesn't build the pathfinding, but it builds the light solve. But yeah, so we were able to kind of very, very rapidly prototype and build the game compared to how we used to be able to build it, which means that modding this engine is super duper easy, and making these mods is a lot easier than it was before. So I hope that offers a little bit of insight into those people who kind of understand about how this kind of works. So we've got all of our different stuff. So AR, VFX environment. Then now it's building a map, and it's just really, really, really nice. So I don't know if anyone has any kind of comments to make on that process.
There are. This is one big example of how the flow has improved. There are innumerable other examples as well, such as building levels of detail, LOD, where it used to be this very long, painstaking process for each asset we wanted to do that on. But now we can just do it all entirely within our 3D modeling program, and it's quite easy to do.
Yeah, and the fact that we don't actually use Commando Level Editor anymore, which is the leveler tool that actually shipped with Renegade as the kind of premier modding tool. We actually use a reintegrated version called Mammoth, which has been rebuilt, I think, pretty much from the ground up, right? And that tool has all sorts of really cool stuff in that we didn't have before. I'll just quickly close this and load up into Mammoth so you guys can see. So we've got this editor that we've kind of built. It looks a lot like Level Edit, but don't let that kind of fool you. We've got all these different kind of really cool things that you can do in it. One of the biggest thing is now, if you've ever experienced Renegade's armor warhead table, that is now a whole thing where you can kind of come in and you can see basically, oh look, there's all the warheads that all the weapons use across the top. Here's all the armor types of the game down the side, and then you can see what damage multiplier is dealt for each thing against each thing, which is super, super good. And has helped our development like so much. And it's tools like this basically that make our lives a lot easier. And because we're on the Renegade engine, it allows us to develop these new tools to really kind of maximize our productivity when we're actually making our mods. So yeah, and C&C Hyper points out me and Excel equals productivity. Yeah, I mean it's basically just an Excel spreadsheet, but it's a very good one.
There's also in-game tools that help developing.
Most definitely,
like
yeah.
Console commands.
I can jump into game and show off some of those as well. Let me I can boot back into AR and I'll add locally, and if I'm actually logged in, let's see, where are you? Hang on a second. Let me just come back into the launcher. There we are. Okay. So, for example, like we've got our kind of test all units situation. So, for example, this is our test map where we kind of test everything. We've got all sorts of things now where you can kind of edit weapons, and then you can basically edit all of the definitions and for a weapon and stuff like that in the engine. When you're in the game, you can play with the damage, you can play with the range, you can play with all of these different values that make editing the game so much easier, finding that kind of key balance. So for example, I could change the damage up to like 10,000 on this one, and then I can basically kill everything in one shot like that. It's very, very, very kind of easy engine to use in terms of doing that. And also, if I wanted to basically check the size of the projectiles, for example, you could do proj bounds enabled and proj slow mode, and then basically I can check how big the projectile extensions are on any given thing. So that's how big they are on the flak trooper. So if the box hits anything, that counts as the projectile hitting. It's all these kind of tools that we've put in over the years have really, really helped us smooth our development down, and this is why we spent all this time investing in these tools as well, that we would kind of be sad if we just threw it all away and moved to Unreal. So yeah, and we have kind of this engine really has a lot of potential, right, Janosch?
Yeah. So it's old. That kind of goes without saying, and a lot of people have worked on it. So there was a lot of people get excited. I myself, I should include that. So my first venture in developing for this was putting in proper flight physics, and while implementing that wasn't too challenging. So that was the upside of the whole thing. That for the most part, the engine had everything we needed. We literally just needed to implement the actual physics calculations, and there you go. We have flying planes that actually have plane physics. The downside is that there's a lot of smaller issues which are just sort of piled together because people get excited, they implement features, and then get kind of carried away and they go like, oh, there's this little thing in the way, I'll just put a tiny bit of hacking in there to make sure that it actually works. And then these start piling together until you have an engine which is incredibly difficult to work with. So that's a lot of things we're kind of working on untangling. And but the potential is definitely there because tons of stuff that we need to do. Like again, just kind of referring back to why don't we switch? We'd have to build everything from the ground up, or most everything. Or even if we don't have to build it, we'd have to figure out how it works again, which would take away from the fun because we'd have to spend a ton of time figuring all that out when we'd have no functioning game. Whereas here we have a functioning game which just needs some cleanup on the inside, and we can make it do some amazing things.
Yeah. So Korok's just pointed it out as a final point to kind of put this issue to bed, is that just we're very, very stubborn, and we really like using the Renegade engine, and I don't think anything is ever going to sway us from using the Renegade engine for any kind of future projects. We're just really stubborn, and yeah.
Did you want to demonstrate the camera or the slow motion?
No, I think they got I think people got the idea for the stuff that I showed off. So we can move on, switch to the next question, which is okay. It's Mr. Jabroni again asking his second question, and that question is: what would you want out of a new or official FPS set in the C&C universe? Who wants to jump into that one first?
And a new official FPS set in the C&C universe? I think I speak for everyone that we have enough projects as is, but that stops no one from starting one. I mean, I don't think we have any plans, but other than that, there's nothing stopping anyone from starting it.
I think the question is like, what if EA came along and announced a new C&C FPS? What would you like to see in that?
Renegade 2. I just want to see it.
A more balanced game that's not dependent on just snipers, artillery, and repair units.
So
I was
going to say we're seeing a lot of Renegade 2 in the chat.
Yeah, I would probably echo everyone else on the Renegade 2 thing, or at least to see what would happen if they were to go further, beyond the Renegade concept, because that was 20 years ago. And, what they could do now as far as graphics, story, intrigue, I feel like the whole the idea of Tiberium could be fleshed out on ground level. And kind of a very intrigue sort of way. Like if we look at Half-Life, for example, and what Valve has done with that, there could be a lot of mystery, a lot of things to discover, from a storyline perspective that you couldn't really translate to the real-time strategy quite as well as you could in a first-person shooter.
Definitely. Timolf, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, I think definitely an updated version of what we've got, of the C&C mode. If we had Renegade 2, yeah, definitely a modernized version with pretty much modernized mechanics from shooters, lessons learned from stuff like Battlefield, but we still keep some form of like a funny side to it, like a semi-arcadiness to it. So we still will keep that C&C side alive, because it's not really realistic and it's not like hyper real or anything. It's its own universe, it's its own fun, and it's what we all fell in love with. So something that captures that. But if it's going to be half as addictive as All Out War C&C mode was back for Renegade, sign me up.
CMD Bob.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with pretty much all of that. I'd like to see a good single player storyline as well, because that's always fun, keeping this a good tone like C&C games do. And, if they did do another official one, fingers crossed modding as well, but yeah.
Janosch?
Yeah, mostly what everyone's been saying. Something like a reboot / remaster / or generally speaking, the nicest thing about the project would be if they handled it like they did the remasters. So just try to work with the community on this. Not try to just blind fire or say, "Hey, are you guys going to like this thing?" It's actually try and figure out what people would like, because Renegade to this day doesn't really have an equivalent. This type of game mode. Well, obviously, Petroglyph's new project is kind of that, but beyond that, yeah, I don't know if there exists a game currently which emulates this type of gameplay to its fullest, the way that Renegade and all the fan projects do. So,
yeah.
So it shouldn't just be. I think it should be more than just reviving or doing a simple sequel. It should be a bigger thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Earthbreakers, the game that Petroglyph you referred to, that Petroglyph are making, is a very interesting prospect of bringing back that old feeling of Renegade, but in a more modern setting. It'd be interesting to see how that comes out. It looks quite interesting. That's to say the least. I think if I'm answering this question now, it's kind of interesting. I don't know whether EA would be able to make the game that I wanted anymore, because there's a lot of things in the games industry that are kind of, or especially with the FPS, how FPSs are designed these days, is very. It's kind of very very. There's a lot of kind of pretenses to follow, in the sense that a lot of FPSs these days are live services. They have a lot of online backend. They have lots of stats tracking. They have cosmetic skins. They have maybe microtransactions. They have maybe battle passes, all this kind of stuff. And for me, I'm not really all about that stuff when it comes to the games I like to play personally. So I think that obviously EA as a studio are very big, and they're very into all this kind of monetization and metagaming, but I think if they had a very very good core game, then that would probably entice me to play and keep me going. Obviously, if they made it on Frostbite, that would be very 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 good, and it probably would be made on Frostbite because that's really the only FPS engine that EA own. Unless they dug up the Renegade engine, which is probably never going to happen. But having something that's like, for me, like a Tiberiansun or a redalert 2 or a Generals on Frostbite, where you can kind of, and it's kind of maybe the gameplay's a bit more tuned up. There's different modes. Like obviously the kind of mode where you have to defend your base is kind of been echoed a lot more recently in the MOBA genre. Obviously you've got this kind of concept of lanes and bases and heroes and all this kind of stuff. But if you kind of were to kind of compare like a modern MOBA to Renegade, you can kind of draw a lot of similarities to the way the maps are made, to the objectives and all this kind of stuff. The fact that there's a shop in some MOBAs, and Renegade's purchase terminal system is basically a shop. It was ahead of its time in terms of gameplay. But yeah, overall, I think that if it had a solid roster of vehicles, interesting vehicles as well, you don't really see that many FPSs these days with interesting vehicles. It's usually just like, oh, here's a scout, here's an APC, here's a tank, and that's it. Whereas C&C has a lot of potential for very, very interesting vehicle play, and kind of weird stuff weird game mechanics that you don't usually see in the FPS genre because of the fact that it's derived from an RTS. So yeah, definitely, I think that kind of game would definitely interest me. I'd definitely buy into it all the way. I buy into everything at C&C anyway. Because it's really my favorite franchise. So yeah, I'd be really interested to see what EA could do. I think they could really make some money on it, because C&C is a very kind of strong franchise in terms of the theming and everything like that. It's got a very good story and all sorts. So yeah. Has anyone else got anything to answer to those points?
Guess not.
Guess not. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Right. Steam's Dev asks, what has been the hardest part of developing W3D Hub, and how are you able to handle this? I guess we could go top to bottom. Choppy, do you want to start with this one?
Sure. I would kind of I would interpret that question, hardest part of developing W3D Hub, the organization, or developing at W3D Hub. I would just interpret that excuse me. Hardest part of developing for W3D Hub is how I'm going to answer that. Hardest part of that's a good question.
We can come back to you if you want to have a think about it.
No, it's all right. Hardest part of developing is, I guess, all the time spent working on it, on the project, is, in some ways, if I let it run away with me, it can be detrimental to other areas of life. It can be the same for gamers, etc., where I spend 10, 12, 14 hours in a day working on it. And then there are other areas of life, such as eating food, things at the bottom of the take care of yourself pyramid, that should be taken care of first. And so this year in particular with the pandemic has been interesting as far as work goes, in that I've been able to spend a lot more time developing for APB and a little bit on AR, where I'll spend a lot of time in a day developing, or a week, or it turns into a month, and then find myself not exercising, find myself not sleeping as well, just because I'm so excited and passionate, about working on this. So it's almost like the gamer's dream, sort of like, oh, I spend so much time on this, but then as an adult, one will realize that there are other things in life that you should take care of as well. And in a way, that's kind of a good problem to have. There could be worse things to have, but I probably speak for all of us in that we should definitely take care of ourselves in working on these things, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and we can help each other out in that area too. That's probably my answer to that.
Excellent. Yeah, that's all very, very true. Very, very good points there. CMD Bob, what's your answer to this one?
I suppose I'd say, just for me personally, half of it's time, just trying to find the time, not spend too much time, that sort of thing. And I suppose the other thing is sort of inspiration / burnout. So, keeping inspired, thinking, what do I want to actually do? Some days it's easy, some days it's like, I honestly don't know, so I'll take a little bit of a break. But being able to drop in and out is pretty useful. But yeah, I suppose that's it. Time, and make sure I've got the motivation and inspiration for myself.
Excellent. Yeah, so Moonset, are you there? Maybe Moonset has gone off for a sec.
He's just gonna have to skip this one.
Okay, yeah, we'll move on to Nodlight.
Sorry, hardest part of developing web up. For me, not that much actually, except during the time when we had both PHP and web up, when I had to juggle between the two organizations. That's the only thing I can think of.
Fair. I guess my answer to this question, the hardest part of developing W3D Hub has been kind of like the hours, I guess, the time, as other people have said. It's kind of demotivating sometimes to know, I've poured all this time into this thing, but But then at the end of the day, you kind of look back on it and you go, yeah, that was time well spent. So most of it has been quite easy to do. It's just time consuming. It's one of those things. Setting up the community and getting everything sorted out with our kind of infrastructure and integrations between our development has been one of my kind of passion projects over the years, and that was kind of really, really good to start getting going. Because believe it or not, when we were back in Blue Hell Productions, we used to handle all of our development chatter through Skype, which was really bad. Kind of, we used Skype and TeamSpeak, and maybe IRC, and then we kind of, as we formed W3D Hub, we kind of got we got a hold of Slack, and we decided, oh, actually we can then use Git, and I think we used to use SVN as well. So getting all of our SVN stuff over to Git, developing without version control, that was a nightmare. Now that we've got Git, is like super good. We've got a really kind of, we can track what's going into the game when, and all sorts of stuff like that. Keep a track on everything. Trello, of course, has helped us manage our tasks a lot more, because before it was kind of just like make the thing, get the thing in, and there was no kind of real overhead on what anyone was doing. But now we operate this place more like a studio, and we really kind of crank stuff out properly in that sense, which has been really, really nice. We've got a really tight infrastructure now, and developing that was tricky at first, but now we get better and better every day, I think, with that kind of stuff. So yeah, for me, it's basically time and setting up all the infrastructure stuff so that we could enable this to happen. It's been really kind of a really good journey. So Team Wolf.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of time, the tool process and flow, but I think the biggest thing that just in general working on the games is, from a project lead standpoint, is scope. It's so easy for us to just run away with an idea of, yeah, we're going to remake this RDS game in Shooter. Oh, we've already got the base of Renegade. It should be really easy to do. And then we start digging into it, and we're like, oh yeah, we've made like a handful of models. Oh, this is easy. And then you realize, oh, but I want to have this feature, I want to have that feature, and before you know it, you haven't really set out. Especially all I think almost all of us started out fresh on these projects, and we didn't really have an idea of scope. We didn't really have a proper vision in mind for how we're going to end these projects to release them, and it took us a very long time to establish that idea of, right, we need a cutoff point, we need to have a goal, and we need to have a form of manageable amount of work so we can do this. And it's taken us such a long time to really get that into our heads and focus on that aspect. And given the fact that we didn't, as mentioned before, we didn't always have a great process or pipeline to work from, and things were quite slow, and the amount of time we do invest into this, you really do take for granted how much time it takes. You have to sink into getting that product that you want. So I think that's the most difficult things that I've encountered.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's kind of categorically answered that one. So cheers, guys. The next question is from Duis Play from C&C Saga HQ. Dudes Play. Deuce Play from C&C Saga, which is a German fan site. So guten Abend to you. And his question is, are you planning to develop a C&C Generals Shooter? Who wants to take this one?
Sure, if you join and help implement all the assets for it. If you think about it, Generals has so many units, so many buildings, so many mechanics. It's just very unlikely to near impossible on our level, I don't think. Like, making it something that would actually resemble Generals and be fun to play would take everyone working on every single project to drop everything and start working on that, and we'd still never be done with it, I think. I mean, we could do some, I don't know. I don't think...
So what I will say is that this is actually a great time to highlight this. and this is the work that Einstein is doing in the Ren Archive stuff. Einstein, are you around and can you talk?
I can talk.
Yeah, there he
we'll
is.
see how clear it is. I'm still having connection issues, but yeah, what's up?
So yeah, this would be a good idea to talk about Ren Archive and what you're doing, all the good work you're doing to bring back older projects that may have died in the past, such as Scudstorm, which was a Renegade shooter.
Right. So I'm glad that has actually come up, because Scudstorm is one of the few that I have not been able to find a latest version on. From all I can tell, the last version was released via a custom launcher program that the Scud team used, and it was never actually put up as a standalone download. So if the files exist out there anywhere, if anybody has those, I would love to have them. As far as the project being revived, that's not really what Renegade Archive does. Basically, the goal of the Ren Archive project is to basically catalog everything that has existed over the years. A Path Beyond 1.2 beta was the first product of that line of thinking. Bringing it from 2007 into it was 2019 at the time, I believe, when we got that released again. Basically slap a new engine on it. There were some 12 years of engine upgrades that went into that just by copying a few files, and of course that created some issues because things have changed. Fix it up and get it all to work properly again, and then put it out to be played again as a snapshot of how things were. And the reason that we upgrade the engine to something newer is because many of the older games, older mods, use versions of the W3D engine that are less compatible now, specifically with Windows 8 and Windows 10. The black screen bug that ECW experiences was very prominent in that version of APB. So we just try to get around all of that. And you have awesome side effects like 4K texture support, and all sorts of things that happen kind of by accident just by upgrading the engine. But forward compatibility is the goal. But yeah, Scudstorm, I got what I could find. The problem is I couldn't find very much. So again, if anybody has that, I would love to get that from you and see if I can't piece together something workable to get out eventually.
Yeah, and just to kind of wrap it up, Einstein is kind of like our renegade archaeologist, as Gummy said. He kind of goes around and finds all the old projects that we used to play a long time ago, and the older kind of versions of the games, such as Reborn and APB, and even some mods that weren't released, like Soul Survivor, and then now looking at stuff like Scudstorm as well. And we kind of want to get those up and playable for people to come back and take a look at in the future. So it's definitely a really good initiative to kind of preserve the modding history of Renegade in using the W3D Hub launcher. So, has anyone got anything else to add to that one?
Anyone is welcome and free to create their own games, and we'll be able to distribute it on the launcher very easily.
Yeah. If anyone actually wants to go ahead and start a general shooter, then there's nothing stopping you guys.
On a less pessimistic note, I will say that we are trying to work on not just the actual games that we're developing, but also the tools we use to make those games. So we try to, if we don't do it ourselves, we'll at least try to make sure that anyone else who tries to do it has an easier time doing it. So possibly, even if we don't get around to making a general shooter, we'll if you reach out to us, we can help out with making that thing happen. Maybe not like a full-on general shooter, but something from Generals using the Renegade engine. There's sky's the limit, really.
Yep, definitely. all it takes is a kind of a driven individual with a goal to really kind of kickstart things and not let go. Like basically, when we started AR many years ago, I was just like, well, I want to finish it, and that's why I'm still here. So that's basically it. Yeah, stubborn as a mule. But yeah, okay. So I guess we'll move on to the next question. But before we do, Noiser asked a question in chat that I said I would answer, and that is the end of developing when every game in W3D is complete? So that, like, basically, is WedHub done when everything's done? Is the question. I would like to say no. And basically say, like, a lot of these games have been updated and re-updated over the course of many years. So, for example, everyone thought that APB Beta was going to be the final version of APB, and then it was Nuclear Winter, and then it was Cold Fusion, and then it was Delta, and now then it was Gamma, and now it's Delta, and it's even been pushed forward past that now. So it's very interesting to kind of go through that and see what we kind of make of it. But I think our job here will probably, as long as there's still people around who want to make W3D games, like, then people will still be around making W3D games. We've not really got a plan for the future because we don't know what we want to do. So, but for the foreseeable future, we're going to be here, I think.
Yeah, at this point, this is now a platform kind of that you can develop for. Yeah,
and also, like, we are actually, like, really good friends with each other. So it would be kind of silly if we didn't hang out, because then we wouldn't be able to hang out with each other. And that's kind of the thing. We just hang out and we make games and we're friends. So it's one of those things. But yeah. Right. I hope that answers your question. Let's go on to the next one. So this was how many more units need to be done in AR, and that's from Cabal. So in terms of units that we need to code, let me just put this in. In terms of units that we actually need to put into the game, Chrono Legionnaire and Yuri are the last two units we're kind of thinking about for like a land units build. We haven't got any of the naval units really implemented yet, so that's going to be probably later down the line. We're not going to release with any kind of navy, and all sorts of stuff like that. Moonsense, have you got any thoughts on this one?
Is the question how many units need to be implemented, or finished model wise?
How many more units need to be done? So I guess there's a lot to be done model wise, but I guess let's take done as being
alpha version,
playable in the game. Yeah, alpha version.
Yeah, pretty much what you said. Yeah, plus tech units is pointed out in the chat.
Yeah, stolen tech units will be a thing.
And if this counts, there are still a few special Yuri units being developed in the background that we are not telling anyone about yet.
Yeah. Not yet, at least. But yeah, we have got we've got some stolen tech units in AR. We're going to be thinking about those at some point. No navy. We will be doing navy, just not for release. So it will come afterwards as kind of an expansion pack. Basically. So yeah, that's the thing. Navy is like very kind of loved by us though, because we want to do let's do squids and let's do dolphins and let's do aircraft carriers and dreadnoughts and we want to get there, but obviously Yuri's coming as well, but I'm not sure what form that will be in yet, whether he's a faction or whether he's kind of like a something that you have to fight against in kind of like a PvE scenario, players versus enemies, where you kind of have to defend against waves of Yuri units or anything like that. So all sorts of stuff. There's lots of stuff left to decide. Red Alert 2 is a big game, all sorts. So yeah, we'll move on to the next question. Rhino, your question hasn't been answered yet, so sorry. We'll get to it though. Yeah. Right, we'll move on to the next question, which is it possible to create an interim Apex Statistics like a Path Beyond Statistics? And this is from a guy who goes by the name of --. So yes.
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, go for it, Moonsense.
Yes, this is something that people refer to as Oxy Stats, which one of our staff members, Random Plan, has replicated, and now we have a plugin, basically, a BRAMBot plugin, which every server is running, and all that Interim Apex needs to do is set up a little configuration files for the plugin to work, and then start running it, and then that's all they need to do for it to work. Some configs and start running it on their server, and that's all.
Yep. So yeah, we fully have the tech to make that work for Interim Apex. Yeah, it's just a case of just getting it turned on. I guess we'll do that at some point when we aren't so when we haven't got so much other things on at the moment. So yeah, it's definitely on our radar to get that set up for.
Well, if you want this to happen as soon as possible, just slap the owners of that game, because I've already gave them everything they need for it.
Yeah, so yeah, slap
the ball is in their court.
Yeah, slap Yap and Deblaney if you want stats in Interim Apex. Cool beans. Right. I just realised I didn't post that question. That's
and let's give a warm welcome to Gerard, who has just joined us.
Oh, Gerard's joined us. Hey, Gerard. Oh, and he's left. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What are your favourite games to play when taking a break from development? Asks Guard55. So yeah, I guess we'll start from the top. Choppy, what's your favourite game to play when you're taking a break from development?
Sure. It differs really. I've been into various games, for the longest time. Interesting to note, though, that those games seem to come and go as the years go on. But the game I always come back to is Path Beyond, at the very least. So it was unique in that way. Nowadays, so when Delta first came out, we were having games during the week. On a random Tuesday, you'd have 30 players on the server, and we had a lot of fun with streaming and posting fun videos and stuff of gameplay. Since then, it's more relegated to weekends, and for my own time, and with the question where we answered as far as taking care of ourselves, I'm trying to limit the amount of time that I spend so much. But with the game nights that happened recently, I've been playing a lot of A Path Beyond on those. It's just a huge amount of fun. Otherwise, I currently, right now, I play sometimes Mental Omega with my family. In the evenings, sometimes I'll play Among Us, and pretty much, every night or every other night, I'll play Smash Brothers Ultimate before I go to sleep. So that covers it for what I play nowadays outside of these games.
All right. CMD Bob.
So lately when I'm not doing anything W3D related, I've been playing a bit of Arma 3, a bit of War Thunder, been playing a game of Stellaris with one of my friends, and just bits and bats. Maybe a bit of Doom one day, maybe something else, whatever I've got in my library. It depends on how I feel.
Excellent. Yeah. Moonsense, what do you play when you're not making AR?
I like to hang out with friends. Yes, sometimes I play Tabletop Simulator. I used to play Among Us. I'm a little burnt out on that. I keep returning to RE3 and yurisrevenge, Kane's Wrath, doing co-op or tower defense. That's what I have most fun in recently.
Nice one. Not lied.
Well, I used to play a lot more games. These days, I generally only play games during weekends due to my job. But once if I play games, I generally come back to obviously our W3D games during testing, but also games like Wall of Tanks, World of Warships, War Thunder, Hearts of Iron 4, Victoria 2, and our well-known Command and Conquer games, and OpenTTD.
Nice. I generally play a little bit of everything, but most of all at the moment I've been playing a lot of Valheim with some friends from university. We've been crafting and surviving, and I generally find it quite a really fun game to play. If you haven't tried that one out yet, go get it because it's really really fun. It's quite an interesting one, as it takes kind of a lot of the old survival tropes from various other games and throws them out the window a little bit, or twists them to make them a bit more player friendly. So I've been really enjoying that one. Obviously I enjoy APB whenever we play that. That's one of my favourite games to come in and play. And I recently got near to finishing Death Stranding, which is Hideo Kojima Productions game with Norman Reedus in it. That was really fun. It is like a delivery simulator, but the way it kind of approaches the journey rather than making it all about the destination was really really fun. That's a really good game if you can get your hands on that one. Otherwise I need to echo Moonsense and say I really enjoy playing like Red Alert 3, Kane's Wrath, mostly Kane's Wrath stuff, and a lot of Red Alert 2 as well. So yeah, basically a lot of that stuff. I'm just gonna actually see what I've been playing on my Steam really. That's pretty much what I've been playing. Team Wolf.
I've pretty much been playing. I played quite a lot of World of Tanks. Played Battlefield 5. Enjoy that. Path Beyond actually I played quite a bit. RTS I mean play Command and Conquer or StarCraft 2 because I'm quite old school with StarCraft 2. And then I like playing mainly Nintendo some Nintendo games for console, mainly Metroid. The moment I've been going through another Metroid 2 remake because it's really well done.
Yeah, we both got our hands on the GoldenEye leak as well, and we've been playing that as well.
That's been absorbing a lot of my time.
Special thanks to CC Hyper for that one. That was really, really fun.
Are you winning, son?
Hey, Fredo. How you doing, man?
Why, hello, Owa. I've joined.
What have you been playing?
No, leave.
What have you been playing recently, Fredo?
Oh, we've been playing, let's see, I'm pretty basic, so I play shit like Animal Crossing, New Horizons. I play some Mario Kart with some chums. I don't know. I guess I need to actually get back into like adventure games. I bought Bravely Default 2. I actually want to play that, but I just don't find time for the Switch these days.
I just realised we've got a few more people in here than they haven't introduced themselves. So yeah, Fredo, do you want to introduce yourself?
I am Fredo. Public relations when I feel like it. I guess that's it. Just lead public relations along with people like Cool Rock and Nodfan.
Good stuff.
Three sometimes.
And Jared, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm creator of W3D Hub, and
you made this.
I make sure Team Wolf gets his work done. Obviously, I've been slacking at both these tasks, but no, ECW, Renegade mods. What else? That's probably about it. Scripts, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
You made this. I made this.
I made this. Fight.
We were saying earlier about there was a question earlier about when we can see more ECW game nights. So that's definitely a possibility for the future, right?
Yes, definitely a possibility. We should decide on some creative events to do in it though, like some sort of perk modifications or something that would be applied to all players. Something interesting. Definitely. Not just let's all gather up and suffer. I mean, enjoy the experience.
The slideshow experience.
The excellent experience. It is. You can't find anything like it, I don't think. But yeah, okay. Shall we move on to the next question?
You keep skipping me, man.
Oh, sorry, Janosch. I'm so sorry. You have your mic muted, and I look at everyone that has their mic unmuted.
Oh, sorry about that.
So that's how I kind of remember.
Because I don't use push to talk because I'm a caveman.
Yeah, sorry, Janosch. Yeah, go ahead. What are you playing at the moment?
Taking a break from hub development. What does that mean? No,
Delay.
I do actually play quite a few things. I play Deep Rock Galactic a decent amount. I play trying to beat Doom Eternal on Nightmare. And because I'm a masochist, I play Bungie's old FPS trilogy called Marathon, which is a delightful dose of jank, but also very much fun. So I play a lot of that. I also actually contribute to the community that's working on. So it's very much like our community here with W3D. Those guys are trying to keep that game alive that maybe 3 people on the planet know about. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do.
Excellent. All right, I will.
Ooh, do I get to list my games?
Yeah, of course. Go for it, Jared.
Ooh. Dead Space and Battlefield 4, because Battlefield 5 sucks, Team Wolf.
You're
Horizon
wrong.
Zero Dawn. You should invite me sometime then. I'll play it with you.
Don't want to show you up, mate.
Renegade, obviously.
Ew, disgusting.
Oh, well. Yeah, fine. Command and Conquer games in general. That's about it.
Excellent. All right, let's move on to the next question then. Hang on a second. Oh. Come on, go. Yeah, okay. So, Meta asks, what did you crazy boys of devs plan for the future of W3D Hub? Any other total conversion mods from official C&C titles like Generals, Tib Wars, RO3 or Tiberium Twilight? Or something new like ECW or IA? Whatever it is, it will be good for sure. So, yeah, I guess we could run around and ask a few people about that one. So, Choppy, anything? What are your plans for the future?
There are quite a few plans for the future of APB. I guess that's the first part of the question. For APB, we're working on the next release, which is bigger than the previous releases in the last 6 months, but not quite as big as the release that's planned after it, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of changes going into this next build, map changes, general bug fixes, little features here and there, and then the release after that is planned a lot of building replacements, interiors being redone, trees being replaced, rocks, a couple new maps like the woods today, a lot of exciting stuff. There's even an ant co-op map, because I'm sure that question will come up, that exists somewhere in the world right now. This ant co-op map exists, it just needs polish. So a lot of things are kind of waiting for the bigger tree and building release, and other things are being relegated to this next release. And as Cool Rock just posted in the chat, there's an Iron Curtain coming at some point. We just got that modeled, and there's a whole lot more new stuff that has been modeled that has not yet been showed off. And we're excited to show that to all of you.
Excellent. Moving on to CMD Bob.
Yeah. Funny, because I've been working on sort of my own project that's just sort of ticking along, and I've got a little bit more to show. I'll probably announce it at some point. But yeah, watch this space, I suppose, for my thing.
Yeah, this is a very interesting project that Bob's been working on. So yeah, definitely interesting to kind of see how that one's received when it gets shown off a bit. But Fredo, what's going on in the world of PR? What's your plans for the future?
So, world of PR, we're trying to build up our base of content creation, finding a network of streamers. Cool Rock and I have been putting together like a little PR package, like basically to send out, APB, ECW, everything to our like journalists, all kinds of news publications. Trying to bring us back to what we used to have, like being featured in articles. But we've actually got some good shouts from like PC Gamer and other like articles lately. If I can pull up links, but where would I post those at? We had some pretty good shouts from people last time we had that last AR update. It's kind of sick.
Oh, nice. In session chat, you could probably post that, right?
Oh, yeah. Let me pull those up. But yeah, so future PR, we're just going to keep expanding our content creation. Keep up with our YouTube and Twitch. You should follow us if you don't already.
Yeah, more PR equals more players, and basically the more that you guys can get the word out about our operation here at WedHub with APB and IA and ECW and Reborn and the games we have, the more people we can get into play, and obviously the more people we can get back into Renegade as well, because that really helps us. We were obviously a very small team, and we don't have the marketing dollar that these big companies have to come in and get their player bases. So basically building the foundation from which we can kind of spread out across the internet a bit more and get more people in and playing the games really helps us kind of get more players into the game to play with you guys. So yeah, if you haven't already spammed everyone you know about Red Alert, Path Beyond and all of our other games, go ahead and do it.
Please do it, and like don't restrict it to like only Renegade players or like Command and Conquer players. Like, someone who likes just FPS and alternate World War II, whatever, just send it out there, spam it in their face.
And also bring your father.
All right, I guess we'll move on to Jared. What are your plans for the future of ECW?
Oh, just ECW.
Oh, well, the future of everything, I guess. If you don't,
Working on Renegade Maps right now.
Yeah.
No strict plans for ECW at the time. I'm sure some crazy idea will come up or be mentioned by someone, and I'll feel inspired to torture everyone with it. But for the time being, ECW, no, nothing huge planned out. I already released some content earlier this year that I was planning on, so
cool stuff.
Always.
Right. Moonsense, obviously you've your biggest plan of last year has already come to fruition. But what do you got planned for the future?
Well, let's just say I'm working with a Rantom plan on map-based progress, which is going to be a huge community event for first tried out on APB, and I guess that's all I'm going to reveal about it for now, because it's still in progress. Yeah, keep an eye out on that.
Nice stuff. I guess Nodlight, what's up in terms of planning for QA and testing and whatever you're doing?
That you actually asked. We're doing a major revamp compared to how we used to do testing before. If I'm going to be honest, compared to what we used to do, it's not so amateurish anymore. We're going to be using the experience from our actual professional QA team members and use that to up the entire process. Hopefully games will be able to come out quicker, have better feedback, and come out with better quality. That's basically it, and that's for the entire year. So stay tuned.
Nice one. I guess I can talk a little bit about what I've got planned. So we have got quite a lot of stuff. There's quite a lot of moving pieces in terms of what we're doing at W3D Hub at the moment. Obviously, AR is my big priority, but sorting out this event was one of my goals for this year, and I think that's really kind of been really awesome to kind of be able to have so many people re-engaging with Renegade and our projects as well. I think that moving forward in the future, obviously, definitely want to get AR out, but there are a few other things that I want to get done as well. I want to get more. I want to get more skins for the forum. Like you'd notice if you go on our forum currently, you've got an APB skin and a Reborn skin. I want to get an IA skin and a Renegade skin and all sorts of stuff done for the forum, so we can upgrade it and make it a lot nicer for you guys to use. If you've got any suggestions for the forum as well, just be sure to drop them. Drop me a PM or the forum or on Discord and talk to me about it, because I'm always open to suggestions on how we should make the forum better. We want to another kind of thing relating to web is we want to essentially redo our website and get that out to you this year. I can show you a quick preview of what that looks like. Cool Rock or someone are in the channel. Do you guys want to share a picture of it for the people in the chat, and then I will do a quick little stream. So if I just stream this quickly. So this, if I just show this off.
I found the articles, Cool Rock.
Yeah.
They're not lost forever.
So yeah, we've got a new website coming up. that is a bit like if you've seen the C&C community website that I was working on with Neo Grant and CC Hyper and a few of the others last year. We've kind of been able to take the technology from that and start making a new website for W3D Hub. So we're going to have this kind of really smart website moving forward. This is still just a work in progress at the moment, so not everything is there. But we're basically going to have a really nice website moving forward. With all the information.
Noah Allen 522 said Fortnite is a game.
What's this? Okay. So yeah, basically, we're going to be really kind of moving forward. This is going to be really good. Obviously, test categories at the moment. The forum, the leaderboards, the wiki. It's all going to be wrapped up into this nice website. It's going to be super nice. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing with the website, and that's one of my goals. To get this delivered for this year. So yeah, Team Wolf. Oh no, hang on. Let's go down the list. Yeah, it's Team Wolf next, I think. Oh no, yeah.
Noah Allen 522 said, "Let me rephrase. Fortnite is a piece of cancer."
Oh, what? Why is it playing that?
Might be permissions with the text to speech. I think we should take that away.
Yep, I will take that away now.
Noah Allen 522 said, "I think your TTS perms are broke." There
we go.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Team Wolf. What is your kind of your long-term goals?
Long-term goals is pretty much get Battle for Dune out this year, and then keep developing further. So at the moment we're doing the infantry version, and then hopefully do the vehicle version. I actually got some Battle for Dune to share with you right now.
Yep. Okay. So I will jump into this now. So give me a second.
There's access to the server. Feel free to test build. Please join us as I get peppered. Can you guys see this?
Give me a second. I'm going to be just streaming this in a sec. It might be a bit low quality though. Just going to pop this out. Yeah, the stream is quite low quality, unfortunately. So if you're joining in Discord, that's going to probably be the best way to kind of do this. This is what we've got on. I've got potato quality, sadly, on Twitch.
For the rest of you, though, I'll describe it for you. It's sand. Lots of it.
Lots of sand.
You could also
and some rocks.
I could join the server and I could stream it on my Team Wolf if that feels better, and then you can talk about what
Just do it on both.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just do that quickly.
I should tell you though, like BFD, like infantry combat, has improved immensely. It's kind of sick. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Like I really wholly appreciate it. Like what you've done for it is just so good for me.
So, for those who are watching, welcome to Arrakis. So Battle for Dune's been a project where it's kind of had a lot of ups and downs. We had a full vehicle version before, but then we kind of reduced down our scope because our team reduced, and we went to have a first infantry only release, with the main goal to make the best infantry combat on the wet engine. And through that we've got low time to kill, we have only first person, we have accuracy for our weapons, like more modern features for accuracy, so you have bullet spray increase, or spray increase per bullet. We've got accuracy bloom when you jump. Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff like that. So we've also got inertia in, so you can't just go back and forth like crazy. This is hammering A and D. But the best feature we've got for our new features for traitorness is iron sights. So just by right clicking, you can go into aim down sights, And yeah, it enhances gunplay significantly. We do have sandworms, but it won't be in the first release.
Atreides barracks
So we've kind of gone away from the main Renegade kind of gameplay, and this is extremely fast-paced, and it's a bit more like a modern shooter, something like maybe some elements of Call of Duty, but mainly like Battlefield. And we're constantly trying to iterate on this and improve. We've also got buildings. We are infantry release naturally, so we've got our silos, we've got our wind traps for power, and we've got our barracks. We've also got building shields on all of our buildings, which is the blue bar, and that's governed by your wind trap. When you lose the wind trap, you lose your building shields. Now, I think everyone that's in, I think we should have a little bit of a play and show how quickly people can die in this. Right, that was 2 people shooting, but yeah.
Well, plus it's Team Wolf and it's not very good.
I'm also lagging because I was streaming as well.
Ah, sure. Blame it on your ISP.
Blame it on your ISP.
One thing we've also got is, hold on guys, don't shoot me. We've got a new C4 mechanic in because we wanted all of our weapons apart from pistols that have limited ammo. We have our Levenbrecht here, which is our officer class that has broken hands. Now we have got brand new first-person hands in, and unfortunately that's using an old rig. So as you can see, we've got nice new animations and new hands, courtesy of Eggman. But we've got something called sabotage devices. And our sabotage device is pretty much it will sap building's health when you place it on the mainframe, which is our weak point. If you're familiar with the movie from 1984, we based our sabotage device off that model from it. As you can see, over time, it's draining the building's health.
Atreides barracks is under attack.
And because we're missing some first-person hand states and animations, you technically, well, you psychopathically hug the gun.
When you consume the spice, many things are unlocked.
Exactly.
Whereabouts are you, Team Wolf?
I'm in the main lane.
The main lane. All right.
So antlered sandworms win.
Never.
Thank you all for tuning in to this BFD update. Stay tuned for the Q&A after.
Wow. Where are you, Ben?
I'm in the main lane now. Main lane. There we are. Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Aye.
All right.
So at the moment we've got all of our main infantry units in. We're just getting weapons in and animations. We're also working on replacing some older models for our buildings. The main building we're replacing at the moment is our Harkonnen barracks, which, as you can probably agree, looks very, very ugly right now. We've got some gameplay features we need to tweak. Our maps we need to finish up, and our first-person animations to finish up. But we're very close to getting to where we want to be, and hopefully getting a first release soon. TM.
Soon.
Yeah, but we're very happy with where we are. We're very happy with the approach we've gone, and to have a little humble brag, I've got to say BFD's probably got some of the best, if not the best, infantry combat on the engine so far. So the first release of Battle for Dune won't have vehicles, but we will be working on that after our infantry release. Right now we want to focus on getting the infantry to be the best it could possibly be.
Yeah. Right. So do we want to do some mock battles down the main lane?
Yeah, let's do some mock battles.
Ah, he says. Shoot, point blank range. I didn't say go yet.
Oh, I'm
wasn't ready.
Wow, not following the rules of war.
The Reborn infantry better has got nothing on this. This makes the Reborn infantry better look like a pile of poo. As you can see, a lot of our artwork for stuff like our HUD and our menus are still work in progress.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about BFD as a game, as well as it kind of has, as Team Wolf has said, has really pushed that infantry combat level to the next kind of level
Atreides spy
with
silo is under attack.
the W3D engine, in terms of the iron sights and just the way the characters feel as they move around. Feels a lot more like a contemporary FPS.
Yeah, we've also got radar. It works in a way where it's local for every character. So you see all your teammates constantly, but when you get within 10 meters of an enemy, you see them on your radar because everyone has a local radar of 10 meters. Scouts, which are an invisible unit, have a radar of 100 meters, so they're pretty much a great visual support unit. Someone on the Harkonnen side wants to get a scout, they could probably light most infantry up on the map. Yep, and there's one already. Also, the lethality of weapons means that rockets will one-shot kill you pretty much wherever they hit you. You've also got snipers that are pretty deadly. They'll pretty much one-hit kill you at the moment.
This feels very snappy.
Yeah, gameplay feels quite intuitive as well, with how you aim and how accuracy works.
Jump and shoot, man.
And then get taken up by a rocket.
Got rocketed.
So we've got our higher tier units are
Atreides
more
barracks is under attack.
our sniper for the Atreides and our flamethrower infantry for the Harkonnen. So the Atreides has an silenced SMG, which is slightly weaker than, or worse than main SMGs for light infantry, but it also has the sniper rifle, which is a very high velocity powered weapon when you can actually hit something with it.
That was a satisfying kill.
Atreides spy silo is under
Sorry,
attack.
Einstein. Just felt really, really good.
Thank you for volunteering as a test.
Anything for the cause.
Oh. Of course, Team Wolf's a sniper.
I mean, I never snipe. What are you talking about?
And he had the high ground though, so.
Yeah. Well, I was going up against an Anakin.
So you never snipe, huh?
No.
Let me grab statistics for you, just. Yeah, I will post a screenshot in the chat just for you.
Indeed, yeah. All right. I guess after I die next, we can go back to the or after you die next, Team Wolf, we go back to the rest of the questions.
One more thing I wanted to show.
After Team Wolf dies, oh, this is never gonna end.
Yeah, Einstein, can you end the game?
I can.
Atreides wins.
So we have two main game modes that we're going to be pushing with the infantry beta. The first one is the standard all-out war, which is base to base, and there's another version which is quite similar to Battlefield's Conquest. So we're going to have capture zones, and I think when Einstein game's over and doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's yes, connection to server interrupted.
Well, that was fun. But there is one. Yeah, the other game mode is more of a capture point mode, where you spawn in a safe area, and you go and capture points.
Yeah, so it's a bit more like your conventional Battlefield game where you're kind of going around capturing the flags, like a conquest.
Oh my god, Molten in the session chat. You absolute madman. That's gonna be us.
All right. I guess, yeah, should we go back to the questions then?
Oh, who's next on the list?
If you can try and get the server back up, that'd be great, but if not, yeah.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Yeah, in that case, while the servers, is the servers back up now? Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'll just jump back into that.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. We'll just show off this conquest mode as well.
So in conquest mode, you'll start off in your base. Obviously, the base at the moment is temporary because we're still prototyping it and set up as a concept. You'll have silos to fund you, and you'll have, as you can see at the top of the screen, you'll have 3 little, at the moment they're oil pump icons, but there'll be capture point icons to represent which capture point is which. So it should be A, B, and C. So we start off in our protective area, and then get a scout.
Yeah, if anyone's watching the streams right now, you can see the capture point icons ticking up as people are capturing them.
House Atreides has secured the conquest zone.
Pieman
Any
3...
similarities between this and Battlefield are purely coincidental.
Yeah.
House Harkonnen has secured conquest.
Pieman 3K has a question on Twitch. He asks, he's still very aware that this is a work in progress, but would you be able to use more than 2 playable factions at some point? Which is the case of the Dune franchise. So would Ordos be the 3rd faction in this game eventually?
Yes, there are plans to add all those in. So at the moment we're focusing on Atreides and Harkonnen because they are the main 2, and then hopefully we can get we'll get the Ordos in. And in terms of having 3 factions per map, probably not, because that requires quite a high player count. But we will experiment with it. But we're mainly going to try and keep to two houses on 1 map. But yeah, we should get all those in.
Very
We're
cool.
also going to have a mode called Horde, which means you go up against waves and waves of contaminators, and you've got to last as long as possible. The mode is courtesy of Jared. So yeah, as you can see right now.
So what's the difference? C&C Lol asks, like, what is the difference between the BFD conquest mode and APB's pipeline map? What are the differences?
Right, so the main difference is that you have 3 capture points on a map that you have to contest, and each house is trying to capture all 3 points, or as many points as possible, to acquire 1,500 capture points to win the match. So if you notice that this capture point is owned by House Atreides, but me being inside it will lower it. But then an Atreides coming in to contest it, we'll pause that. So we want to get this down to neutral and then capture it to acquire as many points to eventually win the game.
Nice one. So yeah, this is the basics of conquest mode, I guess.
Yeah.
So we can. Should we go back to the questions now then? I guess.
Yeah. We've shown the main setup. Oh, before we do this, just it's not this map. Yeah. I thought this was the one with the highlighter in the sky.
The highliner, yes, the big tube. All right, yeah. So that's Battle for Dune as where it is currently. It's looking really, really good, as I said before, and it plays really well. So we'll see how good it is on when it's released. I'm sure it'll be pretty a lot more polished after than what you're seeing here right now. But it's yeah, definitely an exciting project to watch out for. All right, I'm gonna head back to the questions.
If you give me one moment, I have something I might be able to show off.
Okay, yeah. And I was coming back to you anyway, Janosch, to say
yeah.
What are you up to? What's your plans for the future?
I'm about to show it off.
All right.
Visuals.
I love it.
Oh damn it! This isn't it. 1 sec. It's better to let it speak for itself.
Okay.
So until then, enjoy the Battle for Dune footage. I think this is it. There we go. Okay. Let me share my screen.
Yeah. So if you're if you want to see something really cool, tune into Janosch's stream now on Discord. I'm going to tune in so you guys can see.
Hang on.
Let us tune in.
I'm going to tune into. There you go. So I'm streaming a stream here onto Twitch and YouTube. It seems to be working. So yes.
Actually, so there's the boring ranger. Nothing too spectacular. And then there's this ranger. I'm gonna bump up the distance real quick.
No.
Which has, as you can clearly see, dynamic lights on it. People have been asking since the AR thing whether we're ever going to have this in the engine. Well, we're working on it. Let's leave it at that.
The possibility.
So in a broader sense, what's happening is we're trying to overhaul rendering as a whole and add some neat little features like this to the game. What you're seeing right now is actually not simply the not just this little lighting trick. The whole thing is actually revised to allow for tons and tons of new visual features, a lot of which will be vital for things like the new projects. So yeah, right now I'm showing it off in APB, but I'm pretty sure this is aimed mostly at the newer projects, so BFD and AR.
That's not to say that APB couldn't use this in the future as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Probably that's where we're going to start rolling it out. Depends which project is done first. It's also going to be easier, I guess, to experiment with the newer projects. We'll see. But yeah, this is one of the main things. Yeah, so this is about it that I can show off, which is the most visible new thing. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Somebody pinged me. Or somebody.
That's very awesome. All right.
Question, yeah, somebody's asking if would this work with day and night cycle. Yeah, they're asking. Yeah, so pretty much any and all forms of dynamic lighting, which is typical for, this stuff, if we're perfectly honest with ourselves, this is like Quake 1 level technology that we're talking about. Yeah, everything. So lighting effects associated with weapons, with all kinds of explosions, fire, whatever you can imagine. Day-night cycle is a little more complicated, but possibly. I won't say no. Not going to make any promises just yet, but yeah, lots of opportunities.
Yeah, really, really awesome.
We've had a lot of no's in this engine.
Yeah, this is really, really cool stuff. So yeah, thanks for that, Janosch. Let's move on in the questions. We've still got a few questions to get through. If I can find where I left the...
Also, don't forget that BFD is powered by Alp.
Yeah. Oh, we love Alp. He's such a legend. Right, okay. DVD Player asks, are there any plans to expand the APB and Reborn server selection to include longer matches? So I guess that's a marathon style server. ChopBam, are there any plans to make a APB marathon?
Probably not built into the game itself, but that's not to stop people from hosting marathon servers and seeing how that plays. As far as how long matches can last, really long matches might turn off a number of players to playing that. People who currently enjoy the maximum 30, 35-minute matches probably wouldn't translate entirely well to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-hour matches. But I'm sure there's a pocket of players here who would enjoy that sort of gameplay.
Yep. I could say we haven't really thought about it for Reborn either. But yeah, if there's people who want that, then and there's enough people who want to play a game style like that, then it's something to look into, I guess. Anyone else want to jump in on this question?
About marathon servers?
Yeah.
I personally don't think they're... I mean, they're popular, but I think they're quite a niche. You can also get quite stalematey if... I remember Renegade, where you've literally just got the free units because the barracks and the war factory have been taken out, and it's just constant free rushes, free infantry rushes, and it lasted for hours and hours and hours and hours. So I think if we could potentially extend matches by, yeah, like Guard said, like by 15 minutes, because I find that some maps, or quite a few matches, you've got some amazing gameplay going, and you do want those like extra 15 minutes to see who wins the what the outcome is and who wins this really great engagement. Yeah, I think extending it by a bit wouldn't hurt.
Fair play. I think that answers that one well enough. Okay. Here's the question you've all been waiting for. This is from Rozzy, aka Rhino. What motivates ChopBam to push through all the errors that get pointed out?
Does everyone else want to speculate first?
I'm gonna say just pure spite. That's my thought.
I think he thinks they're Easter eggs.
I think you hate yourself and it's sheer willpower.
Yeah, I think ChopBam is being blackmailed by redalert Path Beyond, and it's become some kind of like Stockholm syndrome for him now.
Pushwall's been just puppeting him this whole time.
Or,
True mastermind.
True mastermind is aircraft killer. It's been him all along. In reality, I mean, motivation is a deeper psychological question. I mean, you know, all of you here talking about this motivates me a bit. Eating pizza and drinking coffee motivates me a bit. Playing other games motivates me a bit. Hanging out on Discord, and, you know, having friendly conversations, and APB game nights motivates me, and seeing these issues myself and how it messes with my OCD side. Like, oh, this rock is floating. Well, yeah, I'm going to go in and fix it. I know not everyone's brain is geared towards that, especially for doing free things. You know, a lot of people want to get paid for that sort of thing. But for me, I've been doing this so long, like, I just enjoy it. I have a passion for it. And, I mean, I think that pretty much answers the question, I hope.
You guys are getting paid?
Doesn't Patricia pay us? Doesn't Patricia pay you?
Ah, man, she owes me quite a lot.
Yeah. I think she's on holiday at the moment. Patricia is our HR manager.
Wait,
yeah.
If this is a job, I can quit, right?
No, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not, mate.
You're contractually obligated to stay, and you're chained to your desk.
I think we lost your resignation letter like several times, so stop sending it.
It's less like a job and more like a cult in that you can never leave.
Been trying to get fired. It just doesn't happen.
I mean, yeah, look at my last release.
All right, let's move on to the next question. It's from a very, very historic name in the community, Left-Handed, who was actually the guy who started Red Alert Path Beyond back in the day. Back in 2002, I believe. So that's crazy. So this question is from Left-Handed, and it's why haven't you guys figured out attack dogs yet?
I mean, I love attack dogs.
We did actually talk earlier about attack dogs and all the different things we're trying with them. We haven't figured out attack dogs then yet because they're quite complicated, man. Like there's a lot to kind of unpack to make them fun and to make them fun to play against as well. So yeah, we're definitely working on it. It's just it's coming.
Okay, guys, we've got to come clean on this. We've been contacted by animal rights groups that said that we can't put them into the game because if we do,
oh yeah, our game's gonna come. Basically, Peter's gonna start coming after our game.
Bear Island's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, but yeah, no dogs eventually.
Well, you did skip a question.
I didn't. That was a repeat. It was a repeat of the other question. So yeah, we're gonna.
Favorite Yorkshireman?
No, we're not gonna do going to do that question. It's silly. Right. Okay. We've got another question here. When will AR be finished? I've been waiting for so long. I really appreciate your work. This one's from Mark Leader. So yeah, just want to skip over this one and say we've kind of answered a lot of the stuff with AR. So if you kind of take a look back at some of the other questions that have been answered about AR, that probably answer your question. Skip on to the next one. What's in your pants? This is from Dingus. So I'm going to take that as what's in your trousers. What you got in your pockets? ChopBam, what's in your pocket?
Lint, keys, phone, and a wallet.
Awesome. CMD Bob, what's in your pocket?
My pocket's phone, wallet, change.
Fredo, what's in your pocket?
I got my pocket knife. I got my wallet. I got my cell phone. You can reach me at my number. No, I'm not giving that out. My keys, some couple pens. Oh yeah, some spaghetti. Mom's spaghetti.
Einstein, what's in your pocket? If you're
Wallet,
yeah.
phone, and since I don't live in the area over there where you guys can't carry knives, I have a knife.
Fair play. All right, Jared, what's in your pocket?
Actual release state of Battle for Dune.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Can you give me it?
That's spicy. Pun intended. Moonsense, what's in your
wallet, phone?
What's in your pocket, Moonsense?
Absolutely nothing. Sometimes issues. I mean tissues, but yeah.
Issues and tissues.
Yeah. Nodlight,
What a combo.
What's in your pocket, Nodlight?
Currently a hand.
Nice. Must be pretty cold over there.
Ham? Is that what you said?
Ham's in the pockets.
And
I heard ham too.
Is it your hand, Nodlight?
it is my hand. Yes.
Now we're not so sure.
Keys, wallet, I guess for me. T-Wolf.
Keys, wallet, sandworm, little amiibo figure of Samus Aran.
Gross.
I've got some sanitizer to put in Oa's eyes. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wait, what?
He put someone in his eyes. That's all I heard.
Spice.
I haven't got a license for any pockets, so I don't have anything at the moment.
Oh. So yeah, cheers, Dingus, for that question. You dingus. Right. Okay. Okay. This is from Wide Havoc.
I love the name already.
It's a great name. This is one for ChopBam. Giant ant mode when?
Okay, this one was actually kind of answered in one of the earlier questions as far as having an ant co-op map. I would guess that this is kind of where that question is geared towards. Right now we have the map Ant Lion, which has ants on it, and I know sometimes we switch to this map as kind of a joke. We turn everyone into ants, or everyone fight the ants instead of each other. And while it is fun in its own right, it's not exactly like a set deal for giant ants mode. So basically, I have a map that I have worked on that is still pretty early as far as terrain development, as far as scripting, but the basic concept works, and it is a recreation of the first ant mission. When you click the speaker in redalert's menu, and it sends you to the corner of the map where you find the base that's damaged, and then the ants come attack it. And you have to get it up to speed and defend. And so that's kind of what I'd like to try out as far as an ant co-op map. We can try various things from the RTS mission. Some of those may translate well, others may not. We'll just try it out in testing, but essentially it's in the works, and it should hopefully be fun.
Nice. That pretty much answers that one. So cheers for that, Wide Havoc. Right, next up. This is from I Eat GDI Scum.
I resent that.
All those mental Amiga weebs want a redalert anime, but to be honest, I think an 80s style Renegade anime would work. What do you guys think?
anime. Opinion discarded.
It's absolute heresy.
Does anyone want to answer? Anyone else got an opinion on this?
I think it would be quite funny to actually see a
Ding dong, your opinion is wrong.
Renegade anime. I think that would be hilarious.
This question seems geared more towards Fredo.
Yeah, I think Fredo, you need to get your pitch off to Netflix, mate.
All right, we're gonna have to start a casting call. Who wants to be in on this anime? Expect to see it sometime never.
Nice.
It's basically an anime about Havoc trying to overcome all of the things he has to overcome in the Renegade campaign. And the final boss is Kane. He looks all shadowy. And with his henchmen, like halfway through that, first you start with the Mendoza arc, and where he has to take out Mendoza.
That'd be pretty mental, actually.
Yeah, the bait and switch with is Sakura a good guy or a bad guy? Oh.
His love interest, but also bad guy.
Well, she's not a guy to start with.
Can I just point out that Blue Summers has put 2006 Blue Summers starring as the romance option.
Oh God, no.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Right, okay, let's move on to the next one then, I guess. Cheers for that one. I eat GDI scum. Okay, C&C fan 59% says, what project from the ones you haven't released yet do you expect to be done sooner? So I think Team Wolf, you could probably answer this one.
Currently Battle for Dune. So it's always been like a toss up between Apocalypse Rising and Battle for Dune, but at the moment Battle for Dune is closer to release since we have more stuff ready or close to ready for our first release goal. Apocalypse Rising, there was quite a lot to get done in terms of, well, we've already covered this, how much APOC still needs to get done, but Battle for Dune has got almost all its weapons in, it's all of its infantry in, almost all of its buildings done. We're mainly just down to finalising some levels as we're doing a lot of layout tests and seeing if they work, and then finalising that with art. So hopefully we'll be releasing Battle for Dune soon.
Nice one.
Definitely this year.
So yeah, I guess the order of release is probably going to be Battle for Dune, AR, then whatever we're doing with Tiberiansun Reborn 2.0, and potentially, I guess anything you're working on, Bob, could come in at some point. I'm not sure when that's going to be ready for release.
Eventually, I think the thing is maybe this year. Get on with stuff.
I also want to mention GZ, because obviously Killing You's been working on GZ with ICE, and they've been doing a kind of a really good job in planning out what they want to do with their game, in terms of basically just how they want it structured and everything like that, what they want it to play like. They are kind of aiming to make the gameplay unlike anything that the W3D engine has really offered in the past. It's pretty fair to say that they want to create a mil sim or a military simulator, using the Renegade engine, but with a Tiberian Sun kind of not Tiberian Sun, Tiberian Dawn kind of theme. So yeah, they're going to start looking at having a more structured release plan, with post-release content steadily trickling in over time, when as in the form of kind of like structured expansions and stuff when that releases. I'm not sure when that is going to come in the whole kind of release pipeline either, but yeah, I think the next two projects, I would say BFD and AR.
Don't forget Ren Archive.
Ah yes, Ren Archive as well. There's definitely a lot of stuff there that can has the potential to also be released at any time. So yeah.
Yeah, that really just depends on how quickly things go. Most of what I deal with is less development and more figuring out why whatever isn't working because we changed the engine. So a lot of bug hunting and bug smashing. But yeah, I do hope to have some more things in sometime this year.
Cool. I guess we can move on to the next question now if everyone's done with that one. Yep.
Excellent.
Cool. So we're on to this question from Blue Summers, which is what is the long-term goals 2, 3, 5 years down the line? We have we've already kind of spoken about this with the what we got planned for the future and stuff like that. So basically, if you want to kind of, I think you were around earlier to kind of see all the stuff that we've been working on with BFD and Janosch with the update on the dynamic lighting and stuff like that. So yeah, I think we've kind of answered that one. If there's anything else you want us to talk about in that kind of vein, just send us a message. But yeah, we've answered that one. On to the next one. When okay, this is a great question. When is Sunart joining the W3D group? If anyone doesn't know what Sunart is, Sunart was a very, very old W3D project that Blue Summers and Dark and Spice and I worked on a long time ago, and it was a very interesting idea. And Tomato Slayer, yeah, don't forget Tomato Slayer. But that was an interesting mod. I think we got a couple of models done for it as well and stuff like that. So yeah, that was fun. Fun little mod. You're gonna have to.
Yeah. So when?
Yeah. When is Blue Summers? When is Sunart coming to W3D? That's in your court, dude. When AR releases.
Nice.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah. So that's Sunart. If you want to know more about Sunart, just highlight Blue Summers and they'll tell you all about it. All right, Noah Allen asks, do you play Minecraft for fun or for guns? So, I guess we'll go down the list. Choppy, do you play Minecraft?
I have played Minecraft. I'd have bouts where a big release comes out, and then I would try out all the new things, start a new world, play with friends.
Nice. CMD Bob?
Yeah, I've played it in the past, yeah. Quite modded and stuff. It's always a good bit of fun sometimes.
Fair play. Right, we're on to Einstein.
Sorry, yeah. I do. I've not done it in a while, but I used to play it quite a lot. The more recent updates have been, I don't know, they just don't feel the same, if that makes sense. But yeah, a lot of time spent Minecraft for sure.
Yep. Fredo?
Oh man, I haven't played that since I played off my buddy's Xbox 360. That was way back. I haven't touched Minecraft since then.
Jared?
Nope, all my creative energy goes into modding.
All right, Nodlight.
I played it a ton back in 2011, 12, 13, and even 14. But these days, only when people really want me to.
Yeah, that's fair. Same for me, really. Like, if we get a good amount of people who want to play it and we do that, then yeah. But more and more often now, I've been kind of drawn into new, different survival games. Like Valheim is really taking up my time at the moment, and I really enjoy that just because it's got the progression that Minecraft doesn't really have. Minecraft's really good if you want to build stuff, but the progression isn't the best. I kind of got burnt out on Minecraft as well when I first played it when it was in beta, so. It's been there kind of off and on. I play Minecraft, but not very often so far. Yeah, I play. Rhino says mods. Yeah, no, I've played Minecraft modded as well, but it's just I mean, trying to figure out which mods you want and all that kind of stuff. The kind of the different mod packages and stuff changes over the years and stuff. Like I've played Feed the Beast a while ago, which was quite fun. But yeah, no, I've been playing a lot of Valheim, so. Timo.
I played a little bit of Minecraft, but yeah, mainly Jared. I mainly put on my creativity into modding. But whenever I played just vanilla. I've tried out a Fallout mod, a Dune mod, surprise, surprise, and recently a Harry Potter conversion, which was pretty interesting to go around. I'm not really a Harry Potter fan. Been to Universal, seemed like a fun idea. But I've played some other building games. Yeah, and one of them is Valheim.
Nice. Janosch.
I never really played Minecraft. It's just I do like games that are building stuff, and I know like if I ever tried it, I'd probably sink a lot of time into it. But at the same time, I just never got around to it really. I also don't have I have a certain distaste for the creator of it for reasons I won't get into. But yeah, it's just not my sort of thing.
Fair play. Yeah, so the next question is from Top Hat Tom, and he says, so how do I map AR? Or how do I make maps for AR? And the answer to that is get yourself a copy of Gmax or 3D Studio Max, or I think we support Blender now as well, right?
I'm just saying, if anyone wants to see why we didn't release AR 10 years ago, I'm streaming Why Not.
Yeah. I will tune into your stream just so we can have a quick look at that. Give me a second. So I'm just going to tune into Moonsens's stream. Oh, that's loud. How do I turn it down? There we go. Yeah, Moonsense is currently playing an old build of AR. So yeah, show us why.
Oh no.
Yeah, show us why we didn't release AR. It's just really old and yeah, so this build's from like 10 years ago. So show us one of the maps. Go outside a sec. This was when AR was really old and scrappy, and yeah, none of the buildings are textured, and yeah. But yeah, if you want to get into mapping for AR, definitely come hit us up on the Discord and on the forums, and we can show you some things. Just keep pinging us. We're about somewhere, and we can basically show you the ropes. If you're interested in making maps for our games and stuff, we've got all the tools here. So
and then our forums and YouTube have multiple of tutorials. So plenty to look around and learn from. And of course, you've got the masters here.
Yep.
Yeah, if you ever really want to have any mapping questions, I think me and ChopBam are always available to answer any mapping needs or queries, since I think we do some of the most mapping on the engine.
Yes, and we have also made some tutorials that are on W3D Hub's YouTube. That should help with that.
Yep.
When you say we, it's mainly ChopBam. He's fantastic. He is the mapping artist of W3D at the moment.
all right. So I guess hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to move on to the next one. So I'm going to disconnect from the stream, Moonsets. I'll just stay here for a second longer. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is still just in the game, but it looks better now. But yeah, that's pretty much AR. So just jump off that a sec. Okay, so the next question is it's from Ninja955. Sorry. What's the vision for your future of WedHub and its games? We've kind of already answered that in previous questions. So if you want to know about that, just check the video at the end of the stream. We'll be linking it out to everywhere, and hopefully we can also put some time stamping in there as well, so you guys can basically just click on the question that you want to hear about. So I'm going to move forward into the next question. This is one for New Nodlight. What's the required age for becoming a tester at WedHub?
At least 16.
Well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta resign.
Please.
Well, that's I guess that's that question answered. Easy. 6:30. You have to be 16. Any particular reason why, or?
Well, basically, it's just that we've always had that, and generally, at 16 years old, you've become more mature. Even if you're mature at a younger age, we kind of want to keep the bar the same for everyone. And also a personal reason, I don't really want to have testers who are younger or as old as my own students because I work in education.
That makes
Yeah, say you already watch enough kids already.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Cheers for answering that, Nodlide. So yeah, I guess we'll move to the next question. Right. So this is another one from Blue Summers. It's how has the W3D team remained in contact with EA like they did back in the Aaron Kaufman days? And the short answer to this, let me just poke this one in to the chat. Right, if I can spell things right. So yeah, how has the W3D team remained in contact with EA? The short answer is we haven't. Because EA hasn't had a C&C team for a long time. So basically, when the C&C team got shut down at the end of Command and Conquer 4, I believe, many places in the community kind of lost touch with EA, and we were kind of left in the dark a little bit. But now that the remasters have resurfaced and Jim Vasella's rejoined, he's been a very good point of contact for any kind of information like that we've needed as a team. So it's very, very good to kind of have something of a relationship with EA. I guess it's one of those things where we don't ask too much, and because at the end of the day we just want to be left alone and make our mods. So we don't need anything from EA, so we don't generally ask for that much. But we do every now and again. We send bits and pieces across just to say, hey, we're working on this or stuff like that. So yeah, I think with the one thing I'd like to kind of end this with is with the kind of note that with the C&C franchise and with Jim Vasella at the helm, it's in a good place. Because Jim cares about the franchise and he's a very, very compassionate developer. So, yeah, probably the best thing to happen to C&C in years.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, I hope that answers that question. So Blue Summers has followed that up with, you think there'll be any reaching out like back when APOC ran things? I don't know, honestly. I honestly don't know. My guess would be that for C&C to go big again, it would need a community manager and all that kind of stuff. Like APOC was the community manager, so he was always down with the community and talking to it. So, as you all know, Jim's a producer, so we can't expect him to wear that many hats. But yeah, I think if C&C ever goes to the stage where they're making kind of full, what we like to call tentpole titles again, like full games that aren't just remasters, then they get like a community manager, then you bet we'll be talking to them quite a bit. Cool. I will move on to the next one. Let's see. What tech buildings will be in AR from Gamelon? Moonsense, do you want to answer this one?
Do I want?
Tech buildings.
Well, Derek is going to be in the first release. That's for sure. We haven't decided about the rest of the tech buildings yet, if they are going to be implemented. How is not a question because they are mostly easy, but we've been adding some recent extra features to tech buildings, like we're testing the little paradropping feature, and who knows what else the outpost is going to get for example. But yeah, for what is for sure is the Derek is going to be in the first release.
Excellent.
I can't really speak for the rest of them.
Yeah, I would agree with Moonsense there. Oil Derek is definitely on the cards. As for anything else, we're not quite sure yet. All that requires art. We do have an outpost model kicking about somewhere, but it's kind of very old and would require a bit of upgrading to get to the same visual quality. But yeah, we're thinking about it. All right, moving on to the next one. What does pressing N on the website logo do? I've heard people making jokes about it, and I just want to know. So pressing N on the website logo does nothing. And that's the simple answer to that question. So
try pressing T instead.
You could try pressing
No.
T, but I wouldn't advise it. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So,
Yeah.
Gamelon says again, how about a murder mystery game mode in C&C Renegade? I think, right, you're kind of fishing out for whether you could make an Among Us style game in Renegade. What do you guys reckon to that?
Just play Mafia on our forums. It's totally fun.
Exactly. You could just play Mafia on the forums.
I'd say yeah, you can. This kind of reminds me of the old roleplay servers back on, in Renegade years and years and years ago, where we used to have this kind of stuff. So
Implemented Among Us in BFD, so why don't you show them?
wait, there's models of that?
Yes.
Oh.
Let me grab a screenshot of it.
Has been sneaking models into my game.
Oh, what about...
Speaking of things that are in your game, that
Jared, go away.
What about Cops and Robbers mode? Does anyone remember that? Renegade Cops and Robbers.
Yeah, that was great.
That was good fun when people used to play that. And I think it was it the airstrip was the Nod jail, and what was the GDI jail? I can't remember. Was it the War Factory or was it the power plant or the barracks? But yeah, that was a cool fun mode. We had to like capture the enemies and imprison them.
I remember playing that on Carnage Club.
Yeah, Cops and Robbers and Carnage Club. But yeah, with the scripts, like maybe in the future we could make some sort of murder mystery. I think translating the forum game that Vertigo kind of outlined for APB into APB as kind of like a mode would be pretty cool. What do you reckon, ChopBam?
Sure. On top, if we can, kind of like the same question with getting a Generals mod going, but not quite as big as that. But if we can get the manpower to do it, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that the idea would be single player, so not.
No, so
murder mystery game mode. Would be multiplayer
so
still.
Multiplayer murder mystery. So basically, like Among Us, one person gets to be the imposter, and.
Oh right. Well,
I have a map for that in APB.
You could, in principle, do something like Unfortunate Spaceman, which is pretty much that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can I stream that?
Yeah, if you want to stream that.
Let me.
It would take a bit of scripting, but beyond that, honestly, that's not that. It wouldn't be that difficult.
All right.
I think the main challenge is. Okay, let's not get into developer brainstorming here, but
yeah, there's a big hole you could disappear down with that kind of stuff.
I think the main thing, just one comment on this. I think the main thing holding it back at the moment, but possibly might be possible to resolve it, is it would need kind of a dedicated server, because it would be kind of awkward if we alternated between regular regular Renegade style gameplay, and then all of a sudden we're in a murder mystery server or murder mystery game mode. So it would kind of need its own thing, or people being able to, even bigger pipe dream is people being able to set up their own servers. But yeah,
which is plenty easy under Renegade.
Sure, yeah.
All right, if you want to see what this kind of would maybe look like, take a look at Moonsense's stream, and I will stream it briefly on the main channel as well. So as you can see, Moonsense is doing a thing where he's running around inside a facility style map, where I guess it would be a bit like Among Us, where you'd have tasks, I guess. Moonsense, you want to talk us through it?
Yes. There should be tasks around this whole area, and then you need to do your task. You have no weapons, you can run around, and the imposter can obviously the only person who can kill the other people or put the weapon away, because if the weapon is in your hand, you're obviously spotted. And this would be the area where you would gather for a vote and try to figure out who's the imposter. And maybe get thrown out here to freeze to death.
Yeah,
Haven't decided yet.
So the eagle-eyed among you among us, would realise that this is actually facility from GoldenEye.
Oh yeah,
the map.
GoldenEye sound effects win.
Bunker, isn't it? Facilities the gas plant. This is bunker with the 7.
Oh yeah, bunker. Yeah, sorry, this is bunker from GoldenEye. But yeah, it's potentially something fun we could think of doing maybe in the future. Like there's the sky's the limit with this kind of stuff. So
yeah, lots of opportunity.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the questions. We've got a couple. Couple more questions to answer here. All right, one for you, ChopBam, from Gamelon. What is the internal name of the laser cannon in APB's Lunar Paradox?
What is the what?
The internal name of the laser cannon in Lunar Paradox.
Internal name of the laser cannon? Who gets this laser cannon?
Gamelon, are you there to talk us through this one?
I think he means the base defenses.
The base defenses?
Like the internal name, what is the preset name for the laser cannon on the base defense? That's what I believe he wants to know.
Probably like zappy.w3d. I don't know.
Sov_defense. Maybe we could look at the allied one, but I can't imagine it would be a whole lot different. All_defense. Look at that.
Excellent.
I mean, if we want to look at the weapon name, I have it open here in Mammoth. If we look under munitions, weapons, it would probably be under structure weapons. Weapon, okay, yes, we have names. Weapon laser pillbox, and then weapon spam site.
Spam.
So we have a laser pillbox and a spam site. I hope that answers it.
All right. So this, I guess I'll just I'll run through. We've got 2 questions left, and then I can start taking questions from the floor. Yeah, we'll visit that question in a sec, Cool Rock. Here's a here's a hilarious question, and it comes from. So I don't think the person who has typed in this question is the person who has typed in this question, but it says that this question is from Chrono Jam. And the question is, why are you guys doing such a better job than we were?
Oh my god.
I mean, come on, pander to us, whoever put that question in, probably Blue Summers. Yeah, I don't think I can answer that one without sounding really big-headed. No, I think just if we level for a bit, we did kind of answer this question about Wade Hub's internal development culture earlier, and how we kind of respect each other, and we basically we're all friends with each other, and we've come through like the wars in terms of the Renegade drama and all this kind of stuff to kind of formulate and kind of build this community, which has become like the final bastion of Renegade development, and it's just really nice that we've been able to come just basically build up this thing together and basically have a really nice place to build Renegade mods out of. So I don't know if anyone else wants to add to that.
Space.
The main thing that's better is the fact that we just generally we try to get away from drama. Drama is always going to find us in the Renegade community. We're no exception. But whenever people do try to start it up or bring it to the table, we generally just try to shut it down as best and pretty much shut that person down when they're trying to actively cause drama, because we've learned in the past it's detrimental. It gets us nowhere, and there's no point humor or entertaining people who do start it.
I just want to hit somebody with a chair in the room and talk about Wollywood for a second, and I want to say, like, obviously we had a very big disagreement with Wollywood last year, but we like that hasn't affected kind of like our relationship with Wollywood. We kind of like grown past it, and we're still kind of good friends, and he does a lot of really good work now in the Fire Pro Wrestling community. The Fire Pro Wrestling community makes a lot of textures and stuff, so like, I mean, obviously it was kind of unfortunate the way that things went with Reborn and all that kind of stuff last year, but at the same time, looking at that situation compared to other situations we've had in the past, I think with the fact that a lot of us are still quite friendly with Wally at the end of the day has kind of been a testament to how kind of the community has grown up as a whole, and we're a lot more accepting of what's been happening and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if anyone wants to riff off of that.
No, I think you summarised it pretty good.
Yeah.
I think just a comment on we're still on like this. Why are you guys doing this such a better job? Or
yeah,
is it? Yeah. Let's set aside the drama stuff that's been going on. So that aside, I think it's worth noting we're always building on top of what people before us did, so they deserve as much of the credit as we all do. Maybe less so for aforementioned drama reasons and other reasons, but everyone who wanted to keep this game alive for whatever reason, I think deserves some amount of credit. We couldn't have done it, as some people would put it, we couldn't have done it without you. Maybe we could have done it better without you, but we couldn't have done it without you. But thanks for the recognition, I guess.
Yeah. So to go back to the ChronoJam point, there's probably wouldn't. I mean, it's hard to say, but you could say that there might not have been an APB without a ChronoJam back in the day. There definitely would have been an APB without a Cool Rock. This guy. So yeah, there are definitely a few things where the torch has been passed a few times down the line, and everyone who's come before us has been very important to the kind of continuation of what we're doing here. So yeah, it's very good. Anyone else want to talk about that one when we just go into the final organised question here? Okay, we'll go into that one. So this one's for Team Wolf, and it's from Gamelon, and it's why did you choose red for the Harkonnen and blue for the Atreides in BFD? Team Wolf? Hello, Team Wolf.
I think we know they're the natural colors of sandworms. Just made sense.
So what have I missed? I literally went AFK for a moment.
Oh, sorry, Tim. There's a question for you. Why did you choose red for Harkonnen and blue for Atreides?
Because we base it off Emperor Battle for Dune. So we aren't really basing this off the books. We're basing it off remaking Emperor. So Emperor has very defined colours for good and evil. So they classify Atreides as good, and they've made them blue. Harkonnen are red. That's why you've got different icons as well. So we all know that in the books, Atreides were pretty much their colours were black, green, and red, and it was the red hawk, where the Harkonnens had the blue griffin. And that's pretty much it. The fact that Westwood went with a blue hawk, and then gave the Harkonnens a bull and made their faction colour red. I hope that answers it.
So it's really opposite of APB then, where the Soviets are the good guys and the Allies are the bad guys.
No. Yeah, typical. I went AFK just on a BFD question.
That's fine.
Like, red is not the bad guys. Look at Nod.
Exactly.
Nod definitely the bad guys. GDA all the way. That's why Nod loses every campaign as well.
Okay, but see, why is GDI blue in C&C 3? Answer me that.
Because they're good guys.
Good guys.
That was the player
gross.
All right. Yeah. So that is the end of our kind of scheduled questions. So I now turn to the floor, and we'll open that up for let's say for a few minutes, and then we can kind of wrap this up. I guess we've been going at this for 3.5 hours now. So
several people are typing.
Several people are typing.
Who asked the last question?
That was Gamelon.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to make sure I knew.
And then you just happened to walk away.
I needed to go pee. Leave me alone.
So I believe Havoc had a question. Let's see. What was the question? If I scroll up. So what thing in AR has you guys excited the most? Not necessarily a unit. Could be a feature, an idea, whatever. I guess we could go through everyone, I guess, with this one. So let me just repost this question. So, Choppy, what has you the most excited about AR?
They seem really basic. I like the Terror Drone. Terror Drones are just fun. They're fast. You teleport right into them when you buy them. You run around, you get it, like sneak around, like fly into a tank. Like I'm kind of a lone wolf player. I love joining team rushes, but lone wolfing and like hindering individual units in the battlefield, like that's my jam. So I love getting in a terror drone and just annoying enemy tanks and infantry. You can even jump with terror drones. It's pretty funny. So that's my unit of choice.
All right. CMD Bob, what's your favourite thing that you're looking forward to doing in AR when it's released?
When it's released, just having fun with all the units. There's so many, it's just a wide variety of units. It's got some of the most special feeling units, really. Just that big variety.
Excellent. Einstein, what are you looking forward to in AR?
Playing it. No, I'm kidding. The whole thing. I mean, kind of like with A Path Beyond, being special to me because Red Alert 1 was like one of the first video games I ever played, and it was like that whole new take on that world that Red Alert 1 created. Red Alert 2 was also there in my childhood, and so just the excitement of that, getting to experience that from the first person, third person perspective versus the battlefield commander. I don't know, just the whole thing. I can't pick a single thing.
All right, cheers, Fredo.
Oh, what has me excited about AR? I mean, like when the release comes out, like from the PR side, it's gonna be great bringing in all the new people. It's gonna be a huge boost for us, like community-wise. Like we're gonna see a lot of faces. We'll have, the release. We can stop telling people soon. TM will actually be out. I'm excited for that because who doesn't want to fly Kirovs? Who doesn't want to be attack dogs? Who doesn't want to be Tanya, Boris? It's gonna be pretty cool. A dream realized.
Definitely. All right, Jared.
Space dogs.
Space dogs, excellent. Nod load.
I'd say it's a combination of the Mirage tank and the early game gameplay, where in AR you can have teams rush out immediately to capture the oil derricks, complete with more advanced infantry and the terror drone, flak track, IFE, and robot tanks.
Excellent, definitely. I guess I'm answering this question now. So my favourite thing about AR changes on a daily basis because I'm always working and thinking about what we can put into it to make it even more exciting. So just to name a few things, to read off a few things, the overhead map stuff that Moonsense has been working on has been fantastic, along with the objective markers and the screen space UI. It's just an incredible boost for Renegade. A lot of the units we've been implementing recently, we just did a big revamp on the Kirov airship, as you saw earlier in the stream, to give it that machine gun and the really cool kind of loud hailers, to make it really feel kind of fearsome in the air. I'm also looking forward to a lot of the engine improvements from Janosch and Team Wolf and Eggman's side, with potentially iron sights and stuff like that. If we get iron sights into AR, that might be quite kind of an interesting thing to start looking at. I'm really looking forward to. We designed a new mechanic recently called the redeployment mechanic, where which solves the problem of paratrooping. If you capture an oil derrick, you can then basically click on a map and it takes you back to base and it paradrops you into base. But then if you're in base, you want to rebuy an infantry, you can paradrop back to an oil derrick you own, providing it's not under attack. So we're going to be kind of experimenting with that a little bit more. Also the Desolator, with all of his kind of damage over time mechanics, that's going to be a really exciting unit to get going. There's just so many cool units in AR. I'm just spoilt for choice on what I want to do. Although one of my I'll finish it off by saying this. One of my favourite things to see in AR currently is what we like to call the Repair Fortress, which is basically a battle fortress with 4 engineers inside it. All shooting repair beams, which is really, really cool. And hopefully we can get some visuals in for that. So you can see this battle fortress lumbering across the battlefield, loads of cranes on it and stuff. It's going to be really cool. So yeah, no, there's so many things about AR that I absolutely love, and I can't wait to unleash upon the world. It's going to be super good. It looks like we've lost Moonsense, but Team Wolf, what are you looking forward to?
Probably the turret drone and the robot tank.
You haven't lost me. I'm streaming on the top.
Oh no, there he is. I just lost your name because the list is so long.
Yeah, the remote control vehicles the most. They're pretty much the most fun things I find in the game right now. It's fun being a terror drone because you can buy it straight off the bat, and if you're decent with it, you can ambush any vehicle and destroy them. It's really good fun. The robot tank is just really nice because it's really diverse and flexible. It's got a nice quick firing gun and you can go over water.
Yeah, that's really cool. I really like the your point about the terror drone there, because we've upped the traction on it, particularly so you can stick on the side of hills and stuff and kind of.
It's so good.
Lay in waste.
It's just so much fun.
Lay in
just
wait.
to wait for a unit. Yeah.
It's kind of ultimate ambush tank. Yeah, Moonsense. Sorry. What are you most looking forward to the game that you're working on?
Oh, I'm going to stream it, so.
Oh right, okay. So you can tune into Moonsense's stream.
Oh, I'm dead. Let me show you something.
All right. Let me just tune in on here. Okay, I'm tuned in.
People have been having problems finding where their vehicles come from. Oh. Now you know.
Yeah, there you go. Objective marker telling you that's where your vehicle is. So that's pretty cool. There's I mean, what other things do you really enjoy about AR, Moonsense?
The timescale command is definitely the best thing ever.
Yes, of course.
Although, as a note, that is in stock Renegade now too. So, just for anyone that still mods Renegade.
Yeah. So
wow, imagine modern Renegade.
This timescale command that we've put into the game now means that you can slow down the time of the game in real time. It slows down all of the sounds in real time, and also you can do it over the network as well, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, you can even make it fast.
You can play.
In all fairness, we should be complimenting Delaney for that one.
Yeah, so you can play. You can play an entire match at like twice the speed or half the speed if you want, if you really want. So. Yeah, but no, that is quite funny. All right. I hope that answers the question, Havoc.
Well, it's kind of cinematic in slow-mo.
Yes.
It's very cinematic. Yeah.
Ow!
Okay, there's a question. Is Team Wolf really a small gnome with a red hat?
The people demand the answer.
The people demand the answer to this question.
Actually not. I'm really sorry, guys.
Okay, now the truth.
It's actually
I'm actually not.
It's actually
I'm really
Eggman.
Sorry, guys.
It's actually Eggman who lives. So, I guess you're referring to the legendary gnome Noggin Cloyntith, who is.
God,
so I've got a little bit of like backstory on Noggin the gnome here. Noggin the gnome is actually Noggin Cloyntith is actually an anagram for Long Itchington, I think, which is near where Eggman lives. So, so basically, Eggman is actually a small gnome in a red hat. Right. Any more questions? I guess.
We got one from Ozcar. Yeah. Is there a programmatic reason for using sidebar purchase terminal over normal, or are you just sadists?
We're just sadists. No, we could use the full screen Renegade style menu, but generally we've been kind of invested in the sidebar recently, and I think the fact that we're actually putting more stuff on the sidebar. Moonsense, I mean, do you want to go and access a purchase terminal quickly?
Sure.
Mara makes a good point there as well. The sidebar doesn't necessarily take you out of the game. You may be looking at a wall, but it doesn't take you out of the game. You can still see your radar. You have a bit of situational awareness. Obviously now you've got this kind of overhead view of the map as well now in AR, and we've organised the sidebar into tabs a bit better, which hopefully will be a bit better than how we've got it in APB at the moment.
To answer AZ Stalker's question for me really quick, feel free to give me your Dogecoin wallet, and I will manage your ECW interest for you for that transference.
Yeah. So yeah, we are looking at ways we can improve how the menu's designed. If anyone's got any ideas for how we take the menu forward, then certainly open to those. If you guys want to do some mock-ups, or send us some screenshots of what you guys are thinking, we are certainly receptive to that kind of stuff. I just want to take a quick question from YouTube. Main CP9 says, do you guys think that the game will ever take off, like having competitions or tournaments in a big way?
My answer is yes, and I'm working on it with Dranton Plan.
So you are definitely planning for it, yeah? Do you want to talk a bit about World Domination Mode?
Not World Domination Mode yet. More like Clan Wars returning.
Clan Wars returning, yeah. So yeah, we've got some things in the pipes. For that.
We currently do game nights with the prizes handed out. I don't know if it's counted as a tournament. That's the closest we are running right now. We can have the Conquest mode is definitely going to be something a lot bigger.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's Conquest mode, as in not the same Conquest mode that you see in BFD. It's kind of a different style thing. It's kind of more of a territory capture mode, right?
I don't know if it's Conquest or Domination, whichever is more fitting. I'm not sure.
It's probably neither. But yeah, it's kind of going to be a meta game that we introduce at some point. But yeah, keep watching. Keep watching the space. Yeah. So yeah. Hopefully, main CP9 we will be doing some competitions and tournaments at some point. And we used to have quite a big clan scene in APB at least, so maybe we can get that again someday. Right. I quickly want to answer this from Kane Marder Crane Marder. Will the sidebar be touched up to resemble more the RO2 sidebar? I say absolutely. If we can get some UI artists to kind of make that for us, then yeah, definitely. C&C LOL asks, is W3D an acronym? W3D stands for Westwood 3D. That's the name of the engine. So Renegade was built on the Westwood 3D engine, which bits of eventually became the Sage engine that was used for Generals and everything up from there. Fun fact for anyone who is a Westwood nerd is that Emperor Battle for Dune wasn't actually made on the W3D engine, although it's popularly thought so. It's made on an engine called Xanadu by a British company called Intelligent Games. Alright. I guess, let me just see.
If someone asked what's the feature I'm looking for most in AR, it's going to be the Naval Wars.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really cool. Yeah, CC Hyper's just put in the chat, additional fun fact, Petroglyph's Alamo engine, now called Glyph X, is built from late Renegade W3D tech as well. So, yeah, it's a very fun and flexible engine, I guess. Good stuff. C&C LOL asks, why is Moonsense slaughtering bots at the moment?
Because I made them.
Yeah.
With Dampol 88.
Moonsense is the bot father, along with Dampol 88, who is the bot grandfather.
Are there any other questions for ChopBam? Because he has to go soon.
Yeah, I guess we could probably wrap this up now, right? We've gone through all the questions here and stuff like that. If you've got any other questions for us, you can always find us in the Discord and on our website in our forums at www.w3dhub.com. So yeah, I've been Oa, and everyone else here, if you would like to just say something to conclude this session with. So let's go down the list. ChopBam.
What was the question?
Just we're about to finish up here. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we finish?
Love you all.
Aw. CFD Bob?
Yeah, I suppose it's been fun, and looking forward to eventually showing off what I've been working on at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, I think. Looking forward to that. Einstein?
Yeah, thanks everybody that showed up. We love engaging with the community, so we're glad that you're here, and we hope that we can continue to deliver great things for you to play into the future.
Awesome. Fredo?
Yeah, thanks to everyone for coming by, visiting us for this little Q&A session. I actually enjoyed this. This is actually a pretty cool way of handling this. So props to Oa for setting this up for all of us. Pretty cool community engagement. Look forward to the next one.
Excellent. Jared?
Download W3D Hub. Let's see you guys again.
Hey. Nodite?
Well, thanks for showing up, everyone. It was fun. I mean, we might be as old enough for the history books, but we have a long way to go. So, see you in games, see you in the tester application threads, see you wherever. And take care.
Awesome. Moonsense?
It's been fun being here, and I've been struggling squashing my own boss that I just recently coded to evade getting squashed, so the fun I'm having right now. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for this QA. Thanks for all the questions. Your interest is really what motivates us here to do all the work. So, thanks.
Awesome. Team Wolf?
Yeah, just to echo that, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for your continued support. If it wasn't for you guys, we'd still make the games. But thank you for playing and making the servers populated and your interests. Watch your space for BFD and Epoch Rising. Take care.
Awesome. And Janosch?
Thank you everyone who all of you who play our games, all of you who come here to ask questions and communicate with us. It's all the motivation we need. In fact, I implore you, please, even if it's just a thumbs up, even if it's just a quick hi or thank you or whatever you want to say, even if you want to say mean things, please say it. Everyone here is massively rewarded by it. It's all we live for, basically. And everyone here who did tons of hard work, it will be a huge reward for them to hear from you guys. So thanks for keeping us motivated. Thanks for playing our games. Hope to see you in the future.
Yeah, I just want to end by saying thanks, guys, for attending today. It's been an absolute mammoth stream, like 3 3/4 hours worth of question answering and stuff like that. So thanks for sticking with us. Obviously I want to echo what these guys have said and say thanks for supporting us and our games. Obviously, we should probably try and do these a bit more often and stuff like that. So if you like this session, then be sure to let us know and we can think about doing more. Obviously, I just want to say thanks for supporting us and playing our games. It's been really, really kind of humbling to have people really step into APB over these past few days, as well as IA and Reborn not being updated at the last minute as well. It kind of the team working on that with Killing You and General Camo and Moonsense and Team Wolf and myself have been kind of crunching that one all of last week to get that ready for you guys to play. So we're going to be receptive to any feedback to kind of get the small issues sorted and hopefully look forward to TSR 2.0 in the future. Obviously, BFD is looking great. AR is coming along. Like, we've got still a long way to go. at the same time, like it's been great just being on this journey and really kind of making this stuff and making basically our own mark in the C&C franchise as kind of the kind of custodians of what's left of the Renegade community. So been really kind of feel really blessed to kind of have this community and all the games we make and to be as strong as we are today. So yeah, and I just want to also say thanks to the rest of the Renegade community. So that's MPF and Ren Corner for keeping the servers up all these years, and obviously for Renegade X and Havoc and the team at Totem Arts for really keeping the dream of this kind of subgenre of FPS alive with all the work they're doing on Renegade X and Firestorm. So yeah, definitely tune into their development stream tomorrow if you want to learn more about that. Havoc, you got a time for that? Is that I think is that going to be the same time as we had ours today, or just wait for an answer? 5 p.m. GMT for that one tomorrow. So we'll be sure to message you guys all about that one if you want to find out about Renegade X Firestorm. Be sure to tune into that one. So yeah, other than that, I just want to say thanks, guys, for joining us, and yeah, we'll see you another time. Well, we're going to probably hang around for a bit, but yeah, we're going to stop streaming now. So yeah, and obviously all this video will be available on YouTube and Twitch afterwards as well, so you can go and rewatch it. So cheers. All right, take care. All the best. See ya.
Bye, folks.
See you, lads.
Now everyone join the